joining us. Stand for the flag, and I'll turn it over to the flag.
What a special treat.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we'll move on to public comments.
How about the pledge?
We weren't going to do the pledge. We were in lieu of the pledge. We're going to move on to public comments. Two things. We cannot talk about the clerk contract because we have a potential open meeting law violation. So we can talk about that next time. And secondly, we cannot talk about a district employee in public comments either. Just in case, I haven't even looked at your.
I think we might make a little. Are you ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Okay, Roy Farmer, new board member.
Is there a mic or is this it?
Sit.
This is it.
Do you want a mic? You want a mic?
No, that's fine. Last time there was a mic, so I just was curious. So my name is Roy Farmer. I've been a resident of Whitebird now for 32 years. I own the Skookum Truck Cattle Ranch down there. And as far as most people know around here, I'm a cattle rancher. And I do that. And we have a 300 head plus operation with a forest allotment. And I love cows. But that's not how I make my living, which is probably not a surprise to some of you. So my background is I have 18 or 16 years in education. I have a bachelor's degree, which includes management, finance, accounting, and economics. I went to graduate school for 2 years, and my background has been starting, running, and operating businesses. For the last 17 years, my partner and I have owned an investment bank in Portland, Oregon, where we have employees in 10 states, and we do strictly corporate finance, meaning that we work with corporations to analyze their financial conditions, get them new financing, recapitalize them, explain to them how things work and what needs to be done. This is my 9th time on a board. I'm currently on a board of a defense contractor in California. They're a DoD contractor. I'm an independent board member on that board. This will be my first time on a public board. The other 8 have all been corporate boards. But in my opinion, what's really important is the fiduciary duty of the board members. And every board member in any public company or private company has a fiduciary duty to act on behalf of those that they've been elected to serve. And that's what I really want to do and like to do. But to me, it's really important that there's in every organization that I've ever been associated with or ever consulted with, which is now hundreds of organizations, everybody has a bias. Nobody's without bias. They all have it. And in every organization, everybody has an opinion. This is how it ought to be done, or no, this is how it ought to be done. The board's job is to gather all of the facts, not just the facts on one side or the facts on the other side, but to gather the facts in total and then look at those facts and make the best independent, informed decision that they can. My opinion and my bias doesn't count. I have to put that aside every time I step in as an independent director on any board that I've ever served on, or the one that I serve on now and then soon to serve on this board. So I just want you to know, I want our children to have great education. I had four of my children came through Grangeville High School. 2 of them are teachers. The other 2 are not. I have 7 grandchildren that have gone here, 3 that are here now. And I feel like I have a vested interest here. And I know there's been a lot of controversy. And I think the board's job is to get all the
Time.
facts
Can
from
you-
all the parties.
We got your 3 minutes. Can you wrap it up?
And then
We'll let you
make a
finish up
decision.
here.
And that's what I want to do. Thank you very much.
Welcome to the board.
Carla, positivity?
I want to come over here for because you're the Grangeville board, and I appreciate you guys too. So I just want to be able to talk to all of you instead of in the corner. I just wanted to bring some positivity tonight because it's been a rough couple months, yeah. And I think you guys probably get a lot of opinions and negativity. So I just want to bring you some good news of what's happening in my world in Grangeville Elementary, Middle, and High School. So our year started off with, I was invited to ask the Blues in the Schools to come. So they're an organization out of Boise, and it's called the Idaho Blues Society. They came up for 2 days and spent a whole day in Grangeville and a whole day in Kuski. And they workshopped with the kids. We learned about the blues, and that's the root of American music, right? And thanks to Ted Lindsley, they put them up in the hotel for 5 rooms for 3 nights. And some local people fed them while they were here. It was really fun to hang out with the musicians, and the kids had a blast at the assemblies. And I thought it was really, really positive. That launched me into a study with my kids of the blues and jazz, which is American music, and how positive is that? Really fun. So we had our first concert in October, and it was all jazz music at the high school and my middle school choir. Then we just had Veterans Day assemblies at the elementary and the middle, and they were awesome. There's not much better than 400 kids singing patriotic music. Makes me cry all the time, and I hear them sing in my classroom every day. And so it was just really awesome to be able to honor the veterans that way. Tomorrow I'm taking 35 high school choir kids to Future Vandal Singing Day on their own. They just want to go. We're going to go sing with the Vandals. It's going to be awesome. They're going to participate in workshops, listen to ensembles, learn a song, perform it, and just have a fun day hanging out. Winter Magic's November 29th. You guys know the Grangeville tradition of turning on the lights up there, and we'll have hundreds of kids singing up there. Our concerts are December 9th and 15th at the elementary and then at the high school, and that'll just be awesome. And then a huge one that just happened, I had 26 kids audition for All-State Honor Choir. That's the equivalent of a team going to state in basketball, but it's individual. And 16 kids made it, which is huge. Wow. So, yeah, we got some work to do now, but they'll go the 1st of February. 2 boys, 14 girls. 2 of them are in the jazz choir, and the other 14 are in mixed and the treble choir. So that will be an awesome thing too. So just wanted to say thank you to you guys for serving. We are here for you. I appreciate people showing up today. Sometimes I know the board meetings are sparse, and it might feel like to you guys we're not here for you, but we are. We're a community. I'm proud of Kuski for passing the levy. Good job, you guys. And we got some work to do, and I would just encourage you guys, let's do what we need to do for what's best for the kids. Thank you, you guys.
Thank you.
The next one was Marvin on the board contract. So there was
Marvin, did you want to say anything other than that, or?
No.
Okay, we can just wait till next time?
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Heidi, Just Insight.
Good evening. My name is Heidi York, and I live here in Grangeville. I'm almost ashamed to show up tonight because, like Carla just called us out, it's easy to show up when there's cuts to be made and ugly on the line, and it's hard to show up week in, week out to support these people who are constantly learning, discussing, and working in a sometimes thankless volunteer job. I'm also a Clearwater Valley High School graduate. I attended grades kindergarten through 12th in Kuski. I was a huge proponent of the deconsolidation, and I don't know if I've ever been prouder to be an alumni than I was on the night of November 4th when they passed their first independent levy. Way to go. I'm so happy for you guys, and I'm so happy for your communities, students, teachers, staff, and board members. All that said, I come tonight to offer support to our Grangeville School Board. This must be the most thankless job ever, at least in our district. How do we win with the situation? If they opt to rerun the levy in the spring, the impact of a failed levy in November will never become a reality to the complacent and apathetic patrons in our district. That's hard to say, but it's the truth. On the other hand, if they opt to not rerun the levy in the spring, I'm quite sure they will be publicly hung in the streets for not supporting our kids and all the activities and the sports and all the stuff. What in the world do we want them to do? I don't know how they will ever win. While I'm here tonight, I'd also like to address each and every person who didn't vote. I'm not so sure that there's many of us in this room that didn't vote. The board works tirelessly to attempt to inform patrons of the levy, the risks and the benefits. The newspaper has weekly publications on the events of the school district, very much detailing what is at risk and our budget. The school reaches out to every single parent and employee, I believe, to remind them of the election. There is simply no excuse to get out and vote. I also want to address the no voters. I would just like you to ask yourself what it is you are trying to achieve by voting no. Do you want the public schools to fail? Or is it simply money saved? I can meet you in the middle of just wanting to save money. I can't in wanting our public schools to fail. If your issue is truly saving money, I would encourage you to find solutions. Stop being just a poker, right? Let's find solutions. Let's do this.
You're gonna need to wrap it up.
Okay. Is it lobbying? Is it creating a group to defy the odds, like we did for deconsolidation, and work hard and tirelessly to create change? If this is your goal, do it with the heart of saving our schools and find funding solutions. In parting, I'm here to say tonight, I stand with the majority decision that our Grangeville School Board will make. I will work hard to support you and the decisions you have to vote on and make together. I thank you for your tireless work you've poured into this, and I appreciate you all very much.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Moving on to consent agenda. Do we have a motion to approve those?
I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second that.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to reports. Superintendent?
Okay, so my first goal is to plan and execute deconsolidation, creating 2 strong but unique school districts. And some things that we have worked on this month is the continued policy adoption, as is evidenced by our 6-page agenda tonight. We have a logo contest, which you have logo sample, or the submissions, Grangevilles and Clearwater Valleys, and I'll ask you later today to vote on those. We will be talking about mission vision statements and how to move forward with those. Vehicle inventory is in place, and we're working on the distribution of vehicles, as well as every bus in the district says Mountain View School District on the side of it, and so we'll be changing some lettering on our buses. And then the deconsolidation calendar, our schedule that you have, I gave you a new copy of it. It is in your book, but I also wanted you to see it. Sorry. It's going to look different now. I'm going to have to create 2 different. There's going to have to be a Grangeville Clearwater deconsolidation schedule, and then a Clearwater Valley deconsolidation schedule. So plan for some of these activities to change because of the unknown of funding. And then my second goal is to find avenues to improve patron relationship and increase transparency. One of the things that we are going to do beginning next month is add a statement to the top of our agenda. Both of these, thank you to Trustee Siren, to add a statement at the top of our agenda about kind of explaining, it's a little 2-sentence statement about why the board can't respond to public statements because of open meeting law. So we have a statement that we are borrowing from another district for that. And then also creating some 1-minute Facebook posts, just very quick and short, about what open meeting law is, how the agenda works, how to get on the agenda, just some quick agenda, or quick posts like that. I'll be inviting you as trustees to maybe partner with me on those, so it'll get your face out in the famousness. And then building pride in our buildings. Every one of our buildings had a Veterans Day assembly, and I'm going to tell you, if you can make it happen next year, get to those assemblies. You will cry. You will cry. They are just so moving. And then my staff recognition. Unfortunately, Clearwater Valley could not find a music teacher this last spring with our music teacher left, and so we were unable to hire one, and because we couldn't find a suitable candidate, CVE made some other choices with their prep time, to provide prep time for teachers. But they also recognized how important music is, and I might get a little teary here. They knew, those teachers know what music means to kids and how it impacts learning and growing. And so the teachers took it upon themselves to provide time and meet with kids, often giving up their prep time to do it, to put together a Veterans Day assembly where kids sang. And so I just kudos to the CVE staff for stepping up and going above and beyond. That was awesome. And it's very, very much appreciated, because one of our most important days of the year is to recognize those who've put their life on the line to provide us with the freedom. And one of those freedoms is education. So kudos to that staff.
Good. Principal reports.
We will not have principal reports tonight. I'm passing those. You have a written report, and because we have a 6-page agenda, I thought in the order of timeliness, we would
Sounds
just
good.
move on.
Financial report.
Oh, okay.
Have you, Connie?
I was all ready for a PowerPoint, sorry. Okay, we'll start with the financial question and answer part. Not much has changed. We're up a couple numbers in our total enrollment. Oh, how do I make this big? Okay, as you can see, we're right on track with our numbers with certified, administrative, non-certified, and transportation. We're a little low on the certified staff, which is good, with 400.
We want to focus on are numbers that are more than 30, and some explanations for those often are things like accreditation, for instance. That was a larger fee than we expected. So yes, we are at 100% of our budgeted amount for that. And then paper supplies, you buy those in advance so that you get a better price, so you don't buy them as the year goes on. God forbid we bought toilet paper by the week, that would be a nightmare. So that number will reflect larger than 30%. Connie, sorry to interrupt.
No, thank you. And then our custodial supplies, I mean, it's 75%, but we bought pretty much everything for the year. So that's why that number looks a little big. But again, everything is right on track. Obviously, we've paid for our insurance for the whole year. And so far, we are at $1,753,640 in expenditures. Now, sorry. Okay. Sorry, technical difficulties, operator error. There we go. Our title funds were approved on October 10th, but there was some schools that don't take title funds, and so they reallocated some money, and we had to figure out our application, and they're in the process of approving those applications right now. So we should get those funds hopefully soon. And then we just got our IDEA application submitted. It was due by the 29th, and we should hear soon if we're approved for those funds. And that's all I have.
And this is always available on the website, right?
Yes.
You have like the last 10 years on there.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. It was like, the last time I looked, it was like 2014.
Every month at the board meeting, I upload it to the
Awesome.
website. Or Michael does.
Thank you.
Thanks. Do we have a trustee report on ISBA?
I was kind of wondering, are you going to talk about the 6% holdback? Are we getting, is that official or not yet?
It's not official yet,
Okay.
but I'm going to talk about it a little bit in the levy response.
Yep.
And the change in the agenda tonight, yeah, it might be a challenge, but I'll try to get that.
Any trustee reports? You two went, right?
Yep, I went, that was my first time going. The ISB is the Idaho School Board Association. I attended the early sessions for new board members, which I thought was really beneficial. I also got some information emailed to me from some of the presenters that I'll forward on to you or Tracy to share with the rest of the board. But there was really good sessions on how schools are funded. They really went into depth about how schools are funded, how those support units are calculated, kind of the discrepancies between attendance versus enrollment. So I learned a lot about the finance part of it, which was really helpful. A lot about open meeting law, just a lot about the process, looking at new superintendent stuff for our upcoming year as a new district. So I thought it was really useful.
Good.
I was only able to go a full day, so I was there from like 7 to 7, but it was incredible as always. There's always, besides just talking to people about what's going on in their school districts around Idaho, I mean, they come from all over Idaho, but also a couple senators and representatives were there, and I happened to go to Senator Lentz's presentation, and it was really interesting because they're trying to restructure a little bit with public education, and I know even Superintendent Critchfield's mentioned, like, what we currently have in public education was designed on like the Carnegie method and like 120 years ago, and so he's trying to figure out a way to make it more relevant to what kids are doing these days, kind of like the Mike Rowe and the Vela method, where it's more the kids identify a career, or what's happening in Germany. You know, you identify a career like in 8th grade, and then you spend the next 4 to 6 years really focusing on that path. And so they want to work with Next Steps Idaho. There was just a bunch of people there, and it was really great because I feel like there's some change happening, and we live in Idaho, so we can make those changes. So it was really beneficial as well.
Thank you. Thanks. Federal programs, we just, Kim's not here tonight, but we have it in our packet if you want to go over that. Oh, I guess just for everybody to know that Trustee Aaron Teets is on video over there, so he is listening in and putting his input. So, Cardinal Manufacturing School Program, Mr. Martinez and Mrs. Charlie.
Will this work here? That everybody knows I can speak loud enough if I need to. While they're getting this into an actual slide presentation mode there, I'd like to first start by saying thank you to Larry Dunn, Dr. Minnow, John Silveria, some other private donors out there that reached into their pocket to provide some finances to send myself and Mrs. Charlie, our ag shop teacher, to Strum, Wisconsin to check out a student-run business. We call them school-based enterprises in the career technical education world. And so Cardinal Manufacturing is the name of their business at this school that we will be discussing. And so in the interest of time, we have some slides that we'd like to share with you, some comments from ourselves. I have a video embedded in here that it's about a minute and a half or so of good information, a good look at what they do there, and a good look at where we want to go. So with that, if we proceed, if they're all right.
Yep, I'm ready.
So whoever our fancy clicker is, go ahead and advance screen. All right, so our purpose, again, provide a brief overview of Camp Cardinal Manufacturing, the lessons we learned, and Clearwater Valley Junior Senior High School student-run manufacturing businesses, next steps. So if you wouldn't mind, Connie, on that student-run business, a link there, if you'll go ahead and click on that, should open us up to this video here. And
Some people like Thank you.
all right. It's that first one right there.
Yeah, right
If you could
there.
go ahead and hit that one. We don't.
Okay.
So this is their actual shop as we saw it. This is a couple years back in time, though.
I believe it was 2012 when this
2012.
video was done.
And so
So Cardinal Manufacturing is a student-run business out of our high school, which is, I believe, Strum Central.
Students get to participate throughout their school day, and we do real-world jobs for members of the community and other businesses.
Encapsulates everything from designing the parts to making them to pricing them.
Cardinal Manufacturing to me is an opportunity creator and a future creator.
Giving them the opportunity to learn about manufacturing, giving them to learn about machining, metals, running equipment.
The students take up different positions, different job titles, such as engineers, the manufacturers.
It's more than just us. It's about bringing those younger students in and showing them kind of what it's like to work in here.
It gives our kids some responsibility, it teaches them some real life lessons.
What I learned through Cardinal was showing up on time, being responsible, safe.
Organization, being on task all the time, making sure everybody is doing what they're supposed to.
You get the real work experience, which I didn't expect to have in high school.
They have to fill out a resume, they have to go through an interview process, which is great experience for them in the future.
The expectations of the program are such that they're expected to keep good GPAs, they're expected to do well in school and not be in trouble.
So it's not just, busy work projects. It's something that's actually meaningful, that's going back out into the community.
It gives them real customers, real challenges, real problems to solve, real everything. I mean, it's real, and that's what the students like, and that's what's challenging and engaging for the students.
We are teaching real life skills through technical skills.
The skill sets are not only the hands-on learning, it's how to be a good leader and a role model. Because of the opportunity that I had with this program, I found something that I really enjoyed and I was able to pursue it, and now I'm in a job where I enjoy going to work every day.
that's good right there. Pull out of that and go back to our slideshow. So again, that's a few years back in time, about 10 years, obviously with the age date on the screen there. But interestingly, that video was made by their marketing department of Cardinal Manufacturing. So all that's done in-house. And so Cardinal Manufacturing, as they offer, is they believe they're filling the skills gap one student at a time. The class, as it is a year-long 2-credit class, real-world experiences, end of year compensation. They do a profit sharing, so the students actually get a little money at the end of the year. And it is a self-sustaining program. When they got started 20-some years ago, they were just barely clearing, and then now they are.
They're paying their students $4 an hour. If they have any discipline problems or anything like that, then they get a deduction of a $10 deduction. Like if they're tardy, or if they're not wearing their safety glasses or whatever, it's a $10 deduction from their paycheck. They get paid at the end of the year. We probably wouldn't start out paying them $4 an hour. We start out with other things like maybe giving them some tools or equipment at the end of the year, or the profit sharing, or something like that, or a varsity shop program. We could call it something like that, where they've got their swag or their shirts or whatever, and they're part of the program.
And so as the Cardinal Manufacturing, I think Craig, the main gentleman in charge there now, the teacher, I believe they clear about $100,000 a year. They profit share it down. They say they give about $64,000 back to the students and to their program. So we'll go ahead and advance, please, in the interest. All right, so I put this up there. Sorry, the gentleman on the left, there was a lot of people standing around that day, and I'm a short guy, and I can't reach very good around people, but that's an engineer, the guy in the bottom left corner. These are their office, the office side of it. I spent a lot of time in the office. Mary was on the production floor, so they have an engineer, an office manager, a project manager, marketing manager, production manager, and newly public relations department. And so underneath their photo right there, those are their job duties and what they're assigned to. It's right there on the wall. Everybody that walks into their clean office can see what they are responsible for. And these kids are proud of it.
So like the public relations, wasn't that the person that did our registration for going over there?
Yep. Yeah. Excuse me, I think project manager was her. Yep, so go ahead, next screen. So I threw in a few pictures just to show you the type of machinery. So they really are using state-of-the-art machinery. You can see some engagement on some of them, some just a photo op, but those photo ops have some big smiles, and that's what means they're enjoying what they're doing. Bottom right corner just shows you a good production line. That's what we envision. A little bit more. This girl, I would say this is years back in time. Cardinal Manufacturing is like the Clearwater Valley Rims. We like our red. And so now their welding coats have to be all red. But this girl, she working on that center project right there. That's their niche piece. When they first got started, they needed something to organize around and something as a product to get going outside of their custom stuff. And what that is they call it a charcoal chicken cooker. And so it's got a grill. You'll see that's a single. They make doubles. And the gentleman on the right showing he's excited to be a welder at Cardinal Manufacturing.
And they make about 75 of those a year.
Good point, thank you. 75 a year. First year they made one. That's where they were at, just getting started. And their shop was similar to our shop in the state of repair. So they've done a lot of work there. Here I like this little scenery right here. On the left you got that main teacher looking at him, looking at that kid, really dialed in and giving him one-on-one instruction. And then the next one is just like I photoshopped them out of there, but I didn't. That's another picture of that kid doing what that teacher was expecting of him or what they were communicating about. He's dialed in, he's working on it. You can see by his body posture, I don't think he wants to mess up, but he's trying.
He was threading pipe there, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's your charcoal chicken cookers in their production scale as they are. You got the singles and the doubles, just for a little bit there. Go ahead. And that's what they're all working for, the check at the end, what we all like. What did we learn? I let Mary speak a little to the student-run business teaching model. There were some big points in there that she liked. But the big thing I learned, I put in bold up top. We have everything we need to get started. Literally, we have everything we need. We have the vision, we have the people, we have the students, we have the equipment. We just need to keep putting one foot in front of the other, and we are. We learned about business days, hours of operation. Their business production is only first and second period, so it's not a full day process. Out first and second period, that's when they're being paid. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh, that's when they're learning skills to move up the chain and move to a different piece of equipment.
And they start transitioning in the spring, training the upcoming students in the springtime. And they run in the summer. They work 2 days a week, 8 to 3, I believe it is, on like Monday and Tuesday during the summer as well.
And they have a job. They have a very high. I don't remember the exact percentage, but it's up in the 80s, 90s% job placement rate coming from the coming out of this shop. The manufacturers, the fabricators, the trades business want these kids. They teach them employability skills, soft skills. He made it really known to me: professionalism, communication, and transferable skills. Skills they can use no matter what job they're doing and where they're at in their environment. Work ethic and informed decision making. That's some of their major focus areas on what they do in that shop. And the head teacher stressed, a time to teach is a time to teach, and I really resonated with that. And he stopped and he said, if something's happening in a kid's life and we can't get this production, we'll stop, we'll step back, we'll deal with the kid and the issue, because life happens, at times to teach, at time to teach, and that teaches them resiliency and perseverance for later.
And they've been teaching them also taking their paychecks and putting it into a retirement plan and how that works.
Yes, so part of the compensation, she said $4 an hour at the end of the year. They get scholarships, and the Cardinal Manufacturing, as a business, it's a business, they give a 401k match at $150 right now to encourage them to get investing and get saving now for their future. And the bottom, it put in there manager, not teacher. He said, I'm a manager, I'm not a teacher. They can teach me sometimes. I facilitate learning with structure and routines. I coach a growth mindset. And so those were the big things that he kept powering to us, and all things aside, soft skills, employability skills, and then the machine work will come with it. Next slide, please. What are our next steps to engage current students in shop restoration? And I'll let Mary speak to that briefly.
We've already started that with my freshman class, where we've been clearing off the walls, cleaning them up, and we were going to start just painting, but then we're finding that there's some damage to the walls, some water damage that had happened I don't know how many years ago. And there's some dry rot and some mold in there, so we're having to add a little bit more. But you know what? Those are shop skills, and so that's what we're doing.
We're doing what a business would do. If you had a storefront and it wasn't in repair where you needed it, you were going to put your business in it, you fix it up. So that's what we're doing in restoration. So we're going to try to work on generating community support, maybe an open house, invite. Get you guys down there and let us talk to you a little bit more so you're not in a board environment. Develop a class pathway and curriculum for this, and then implement first year of student-run business with the start of next year. That's our goal. Next slide. And for a little bit of fun, are we RAM Manufacturing or RAM Manufacturing? We don't know. Ha ha ha! Yeah, a little play on words, but so yeah. With that, thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. Thank you for attending this. We gained a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're going to move on to business deconsolidation.
So again, I gave you a new copy of your deconsolidation calendar. It was in your board packet, but I gave it to you again because I really need to draw attention to that. Some things that we're going to be working on tonight, we'll be talking about the CV district office location, potentials for that. And also we'll be talking about mission vision statements and working on policy, and I think that's all of the things that are on there. As you read this, I need to say this every single month, if you think of something that you know needs to be done and it's not on the list, please let me know so that I can get it on the list, because all things will have to happen in a timeline. So give me a call, send me an email, hey, this isn't on the list, where does this fit, so I can get it on there for you. Yeah, I do have to say that it will look different beginning next month because you're now both on different timelines.
I have one question on here.
Mhm.
real quick. I think it's just a typo, but your technology plan says 12/1/26. I assume you mean
I
December
think
1st,
I meant
25.
December
We do it
1st
in
of
December. Okay.
2025.
So that'll be a next month item.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice catch, thank you.
Any other comments on that? All right. Okay, moving on to McKinstry.
Okay, in your packet, or in the papers that I gave you tonight, this wasn't in your board packet, this talks about the interlocal purchasing system. It's called TIPS. And it is a process that schools in Idaho are allowed to use now to work on, to help the bid process work more smoothly. Traditionally, you developed your own plan. Let's talk about the roof at Grangeville High School over the gym, the round roof. You would work with an architect, you'd work with an engineer, you'd come up with a plan, you'd send that out to bid, you'd go with the lowest bidder, and then when the bidder ripped the roof off, they found a leak somewhere, now you have a cost overrun, and you've got a problem because you budgeted X number of dollars and it's gonna cost more. So that was the traditional way. To use the TIPS way, and the federal government allows this to happen because they've all demonstrated their skills and their bid process to this organization. And so if you were to select, if you vote tonight, which I'm going to recommend that you select the TIPS program and McKinstry, which was the group that came to present last week, then we can work with them. And they send their engineers and their architects up front, they climb through those roofs, and they give you a guaranteed price. And so then when they repair that roof, and they do the bidding of local bidders, or local companies. So it's an outside company that comes and does the bid process for you, and then they set it out to bid, and our local companies could still bid on it. I always want to buy local as much as possible and support our local companies. And so they do the engineering, they come up, they work with local bidders, they come up with a price, they guarantee that price. Lots of schools in Idaho are using it. They're finding it to be much more fiscally responsible because you have that known price. Questions?
What's the cost?
It's worked into their guaranteed price when they, so when they come to you with a price, and you don't have to, like, they come to you and they say, we can replace this roof for X amount of dollars, their fee is worked into that. You don't have to take that price just because you've hired them. You can say, okay, that's too rich for my blood, I'm gonna pass on that. But the schools that are using it, CAMI is using it right now. I think Orfino is looking at it, and a number of other schools, Lewiston, Moscow uses it, Potlatch uses it. They've found that the prices are better because they are not, where buildings and all of those materials used to just be easier. And so you could have a maintenance guy who could go out and go, I think we need this roof and these windows or whatever. With all of the variety of materials that we have now and the prices of those, that's beyond a local. And so the money that you spend in engineering and architecture often inflates that price out. Well, we saw that. We're on a second bid round with the wrestling building right now. And so that avoids that. You don't have that run out to bid, you're way overpriced, you come back for a second bid, they give you that price up front.
I see a membership here. Is this an annually renewed membership contract?
It is it is free, there's no cost to join TIPS. It's a application that you submit. And yes, you submit that annually.
And so since it's free, I'm gonna guess that it's not obligatory. We don't have to go through them.
No, it's just an option that you can have. The school has used something like this before when you do bus bids, for instance. If you are looking for a 40-passenger bus with radios and cameras and all of the typical bus, and a neighboring district has already gone to bid on that, so they've done all their posting and all of that stuff, then you can jump in and get that same price. So if Thomas comes back and says, we can sell that bus to you for this amount, And then we see our neighbor did that, we can contact Thomas and say, we want that same bus. It's called piggybacking, and that's what this is. This process is just taking advantage of, they've bid these projects and proven their reliability through the TIPS program.
Do we have any idea how much on a percentage basis the utilization of this service, I'll call it, will add to an average contract? I mean, they gotta pay mortgages too, so I'm guessing there's gotta be a little bit of a cost added in for their service.
I don't know that they're releasing that percent that they are, but the prices that other schools that are using this is better than they are going when they go to a bid.
When they go without.
And again, any project that they provide to you, if you don't like the price or you don't like what
No
they're offering,
obligation.
you just don't take it. There's no obligation.
I have a question. In the beginning, you were saying that they come on site and they do like a full inspection.
Mhm.
So is that something that if we'd agree to join this service, do they come and inspect our facilities?
They
and
have-
find maintenance issues?
They have
and
a service
suggest
to
them?
do that as well.
Okay.
So
So it's not
they'll-
just what we ask them to bid, they actually come and inspect
we
our
can ask for a
facilities.
variety, like they have a whole list, a menu of services that they provide. In a previous district that I worked in, we were concerned about HVAC systems, and so they came and did air quality checks in all of the buildings and identified where our biggest leak was and then made a recommendation. They just made a recommendation. That was just one of the services they provided.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am?
We just had a guy come and look at all our facilities, and he gave us a report, so I think that would be good to share with the CBE team. Because it had like priority things
So-
that needed to be done soon. It was like all broken out into,
So part of the school revitalization fund, I couldn't get that word out of my mouth, the 10 million that you've heard about so much, prior to getting that, you had to do a facilities audit. And so Mountain View School District contracted with Richard Boucher. Interestingly, the very first superintendent that hired me as a teacher in Kimberly, Idaho, now works for the state of Idaho. Anyway, so he came and did the facilities audit here. And I have talked about this, and I don't know that you've all heard this. Like in Idaho, the facilities averaged in like the mid-50s range. That's given a percentage rate. We were, I think, 86%. So our facilities are really, when compared to other districts across the state of Idaho, are in good shape. And I think it's because we as a district have prioritized maintaining our buildings, like replacing roofs when they need replaced. That's always a scary thing when you get into a financial crisis about that. However, we do have the school revitalization funds, which is a separate set of funds that we can use to do those things.
can I give a little shout out to Ty Reuter,
That's
that's been our
exactly right.
maintenance guy for
Yep.
11 years, 12
That's
years.
right.
Yes.
I think it has a lot to do with him being thorough and
Exactly.
identifying things.
Exactly right. Thank
You might have
Ryan.
seen tied to the roof out here yesterday because we had a little leak and he was on the roof fixing it. I said, tell me when you're off.
Yeah, I would like to, if you could send that to us board members
I
for
can-
CV, I would like to see the report for our CV schools.
I will send it to you. It's all in one document, but
Okay.
you can see which
Yeah, I'd
one.
like to see that.
Do we actually need a motion to accept?
It has to be a board, and so you're talking about joining the interlocal purchasing system TIPS and selecting McKinstry.
I move that we accept will become a member of the local purchasing system with McKinstry. Did I say that okay?
Perfect, thank you.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Certified firearm training providers. So we guess we need to make a choice between Jim and Amy Georges from American Freedom Defense and Kirsten Costa-Ludis. I actually would like to turn it over to you, Vice
Thank you.
Chair.
I've thought about this a lot, obviously, and despite the completely
Are there two?
baseless accusations and slander of one individual that became publicized, the fact of the matter is, I prefer to bank on organizations that have a track record of success in the unique business of protecting schools. And so my recommendation, if I may, at this time, I'll make a motion, is that we accept Jim and Amy Georges with American Freedom Defense LLC And the program that they offer, which I will add, because we have an item later in the agenda, includes a district safety coordinator. But I would recommend and make a motion that we approve and accept American Freedom Defense LLC as our firearms training provider.
We have a couple handouts if you guys want to look those over before we make a decision, but do we have a second?
Second it.
Second that.
You can second.
You can say it, we're
Yep.
okay, as long as it's not a
You
motion.
just cannot make a
Not the
motion.
While you're
Uh,
in your discussion, I don't know why I didn't think to put this on the agenda, but likely later this year, you'll have to make a decision again, because you will be expending funds after July 1st, which will separate the two districts. So any funds spent between now and June 30th would be based on this motion of Mountain View.
Yeah, I will say I was torn between the two. I couldn't really make a distinct decision, but
And I just want to be clear, I'm pretty sure the other one, Costa Ludas, also has school. They had mentioned that they have a history of training schools too, so I just want to make sure that that's clear. So I think they're both kind of on the same level. I mean, I don't know, I haven't experienced either of them, but from their presentations, they seem very similar in their.
I was happy with both their
Experience.
presentations. Yeah, any other discussion? Move to vote?
Is there a reason that they couldn't go wherever they want to go? Just because I'm
yeah,
curious. Then the prices were close. I
don't think
does it have to be?
I don't understand the question.
I just wondered if there's a reason that, I mean, if one preferred to go to one place and the other.
Like a teacher to be trained in either place.
If a designee chose to go to one training facility versus the other.
I don't know that that's prohibited by the policy. The policy indicates basically we're gonna have one training provider. I think it's a matter of meeting the qualifications for the particular training being offered as it's spelled out. And I have no reason to expect that either organization is uncooperative in that regard, so, sure, I mean.
Is there any possibility of conflicting training, like
Yes.
expectations?
Yeah, there could be, there could be differences of opinion about certain elements, sure. I mean, that's the nature of that business in particular. I'll bring up one subject that's related, that everybody has a different opinion about, and that's what the best round is to carry in your business. Everybody has a different opinion, and they're all valid because you gotta stand behind it, that's my opinion.
Well, to add to it, I mean, we know that AFD has involvement in both St. John Bosco and Riggins, so they are involved locally already.
Yep.
Can I interrupt really quick?
Yep.
Can you please make sure that Mr. Teets is still with us?
Still there, Aaron?
You there?
I'm
You
sure
there?
this is mic muted, but.
He's been typing, but. I
Okay,
haven't
he
seen
has
anything.
been, so you've been.
Well,
okay.
there he is.
There we go.
Sorry about that, I just wanted to make sure he was with us.
Let's call for a vote. All in favor of accepting AFD, that motion?
I'm with it, yep.
Can I
Yeah.
abstain?
Yeah, you can,
You
yeah.
can do whatever you so choose.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hands up.
Abstain?
I abstain.
Okay.
I abstain.
All right. Oh, wait,
Okay.
who does, okay, hang on.
And did we hear Aaron?
What did Aaron do?
Aaron, did you, he voted aye.
So Edwards abstained. And so did Russell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Supplemental levy, I'm gonna turn it over to you, Chairman O, for CD.
Okay. Well, on the supplemental levy, of course, it passed for Clearwater for 1 year. So that will start as of July 1st, this next summer.
Can I interject again?
Sure.
I need a motion to accept the canvas from the county commissioners, please, before we start talking about the levy.
I'll make a motion. We accept the canvas from the county commissioners.
Second.
Thank you.
Vote.
I need a call for a vote, please.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aaron's in favor?
Thank you.
Passed.
Okay, I'm good, thank you.
Very good. Any other discussion? Move back to us?
No, now they can have the discussion.
Okay.
I needed them to accept the canvas.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anything more do we have? Yeah.
I know everyone received the same email I did that Mr. Sandy Staub sent out to a lot of different people, not just the board.
Yeah.
Will you be sure and send it to the board clerk so we can have it on record if you want on it?
I think it must have been you guys.
Yeah, we didn't get it.
That could be.
Oh, yeah, it was just us. He had a link that he sent to all the board members supporting the levy. And I think it was very influential in the levy passing. Because it's a group of people that are never in favor of the levy, so I just wanted to shout him out.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. I thought that was,
If
it was a nice surprise.
I'm sorry to interrupt. If he gave reasons, would you share that with me as well? I'd like to know what made the difference.
You want us to forward it, or you want us to review it?
Just forward it to me.
Okay.
Thank you.
I just forwarded it.
Thank you. Tracy needs it for record. I
thought
like
she
it
was
for
on there, but-
information, so, thank you.
Oh, whoops, I forwarded the wrong email.
What?
I thought you were on it too.
I might have been, I don't know.
This is it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys.
I got it. Yeah.
You did send it to us.
Thank you.
Are we still open for comment about the levy?
Yeah, you're still
Yeah,
in
you guys have
discussion.
the floor.
Okay, quickly, I just wanted to thank the patrons that showed up to vote. Our voter percentage obviously wasn't as high as I would like to see, but I do think it's important for everybody to have a voice in voting, so whatever your vote was, I'm glad that you showed up to vote. I appreciate the fact that CV patrons stood behind our levy when you told us that if we deconsolidate, that you would stand behind us, and you did, which means a lot to our kids. We're a new district, we need funding to get going. We can all give our word that we're gonna be fiscally responsible going forward, but we needed something to start with, so I appreciate it.
Okay. Any other comments?
Oh, one other thing. I have to thank our superintendent too. It was her idea, I believe, to put out the videos on Facebook. And myself and Principal Martinez sat down with her and kind of did a video that we posted on Facebook, which I have never, I mean, in my time in this area, which is about 20 years now, I don't think I've ever seen that kind of outreach to our community, which was, I thought, really great to sit down and have a face and actually go through some of the facts. So that was a really good idea.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, turn it back.
Now we get to discuss our supplemental levy that did not pass.
May I make a few comments? Do you mind if I make?
That
some
would be
comments?
great. Honestly, we need to come up
Okay.
with a plan from
So,
here, so.
to be honest, my spoiled little girl reaction was the voters have spoken. 43% of the voters voted, and they've spoken. But then I gathered myself back up and stopped throwing my hissy fit, and I took a little bit deeper look, and I reflected on it, because that's really what we need to always do, is reflect. And so some things that I noticed: while 43% of the voters cast votes, in the 5 largest precincts in the district, Grangeville 1, Grangeville 2, Grangeville 3, 4, and 5, it was 28, 27, 31, 30, and 27%. And so we did get a good turnout from some of our precincts, but our bigger precincts did not have a good turnout. That spoke to me. I'm not really sure what that spoke to me, but it made me think, okay, this wasn't the voice of the people. A vote, let me clarify, a vote is always the voice of the people. But we have to reflect on what percent of the people voted, and it always breaks my heart when people don't vote. My mother was in a Veterans Day pamphlet last week because she was a Rosie Riveter. She left her family and went to San Diego. Was in the Tribune last week. I was kind of proud. And she put planes back together because she believed in that effort of supporting our country. So I do feel very strongly about it. So I reflected more. It was really quiet. And before the levy vote, I thought a lot about it being quiet and whether that was a good sign or a bad sign. And looking back in experience, I'm going to say now that it being really quiet was not a good sign. A couple of things I think we may have confused the voters, and I will wear that I don't know that we got the message out well. Yes, we made a video, but the video is 8 minutes long. People won't listen to an 8-minute video. It should have been a 1-minute video or multiple 1-minute videos. And the confusion, our past levy that was for Mountain View School District that was 2 years was $2,936,000. 2/3 of that, which reflects Grangeville, is $1,957,000. We were asking for less than 2/3, $1,655,000. But I think the confusion came with the $2 million was $1.82, and the $1,655,000 was $1.80. So people were thinking, well, they're a smaller district, but they're asking the same amount of money because of the property values. So property values of Mountain View School District is $1,625,867,000. 2/3 of that is $1,083,911,000. And we are not reflective of 2/3. We're reflective of less than 2/3, 919,790,000. And so I think I'm going to wear some, I think I didn't get that message out. I think that people may have been confused thinking they want the same amount of money even though they are a smaller district. Again, the videos, I don't know that the flyer was publicly spread as well as it should or could have been. We did try to get it out on social media. And we also didn't have a public meeting in Grangeville where Clearwater Valley did have a public meeting, and maybe that public meeting made the difference. Also, Clearwater Valley considered a 1-year levy and Grangeville was considering a 2-year levy. So I'm thinking back, hindsight, 2020, maybe there are some things we could or should do differently. I have heard from multiple people about, why are you always threatening sports? I don't want to threaten sports. I have 10 state championships in my home. My kids participated in sports widely. And so I believe in them and I know what sports do for kids, but also sports in Mountain View School District represents $295,000. That is not funded by the state. That is what you're saying you'll take out of your general fund to pay for sports and activities. If we were to say we're going to continue to support sports, then we would be saying we're giving up 3 teachers and 2 classified staff. That's important to us. And I think that we're an educational institution, and I love basketball, and, well, my favorite's baseball. Don't tell the basketball team, but my favorite's baseball. I love all of that. I love it. But I think higher level math classes and smaller class sizes outweigh those things. And so I laid in bed awake. I ate a lot of Rolaids. It's difficult. But I will tell you that I have always made decisions in my career based on what's best for kids. And so I cannot say the voters have spoken. I have to say I'm not sure I did a good job of educating the voters, and I beg you to consider a levy again in the spring.
Do you have comments? I feel that, I mean, yeah, that is a possibility, but this is what we have in front of us. So I would like to get a budget finalized as far as what our district will look like moving forward with the hand we've been dealt at this point in time. So if we could talk about that tonight, or at least by next meeting, we need to be able to decide on a plan of like, this is what our district will look like. Let the community know, make sure this is what they want, and then go from there. So at this point in time, that's what we're dealt with. So we really need to do our due diligence and get that ready to go.
So the administrators and I have started working on that. We don't have a finalized plan for you yet. I will tell you that staffing there on the levy was $727,560 for staffing for certified, classified employees. That is 7 teachers, 4 paraprofessionals, and 4 classified staff. 7.
There's things that we,
That would mean class sizes of 30 students per class. That would mean a loss of electives.
there's things that we're required to have, and there's others that we are not required to have. Can you go through that list of what we're not required to have? As far as the state is concerned.
Off the top of my head, I wouldn't want to go through the things that are required off the top of my head, but we're not required to have a lot of the electives. And electives are things like physical education, music, CTE, those kinds of things. And I don't want to give anybody a heart attack. And I realize that there are people in this classroom, or in this room, that's, every single position, we have a RIF policy, and we would have to consider that RIF policy the entire way through. But just crunching the numbers, it's 7 certified staff. It's 7 teachers in between kindergarten and 12th grade.
Yeah, I would agree. I would like those specifics on what we would lose. This is a very important decision, and I don't want to make any decisions tonight personally. I want time to think about it and to get the information out to the public, because there is a lot of rumor that I hear, and some of it I heard after the vote, which was very disappointing. So yes, if we could get some really specific information on what would be lost if we didn't move forward with another levy.
Do we know, would the high school versus the elementary be more affected? Does that play into account?
Yes, it does, because the way we are funded, so for instance, kindergarten, you get 1/2 of a teacher for every 40 students. Because they think of, it's 1/2 of a teacher for every 20 students, so you get a whole teacher for every 40. And then elementary is impacted because they do how many kids are in a grade, divide by 25, that's how many teachers you have, and it doesn't work that way, because we're not just 50 students, that's not how it works, we're either bigger than that or smaller than that. And then at the high school, because of the requirement of the number of maths that are required in sciences and whatever, they fund for more teachers at the 7th through 12th grade than they do at the elementary. So yes, the largest impact would be at elementary.
At the elementary.
Mm-hmm.
So would you in the administration be able to have a plan of action by next meeting? Do we need to direct you to put that together?
No, I just don't have the numbers yet that I could put them together. And between now and that meeting, I would want to, so we have a RIF policy, and in that RIF policy, you have to look not just at who's been here the longest, but who has that, RIF stands for reduction in force, who has that certification. So it might be a teacher who's teaching an elementary classroom because they have a K-8 certificate, but they might also have an English degree. And so if you're reducing elementary teachers, and that teacher is the newest, but he or she's been here longer than an English teacher at the high school, you have to, so there's a whole process you have to run through with every one of those positions.
I thought we didn't have a RIF policy.
You do have a RIF policy.
We're sure.
You may not have in the past, but you do have one.
And these.
You're making me nervous. I'm double checking.
That was one thing that was a big contention last year, I thought, was that there was no RIF policy, or the year before. I don't know if the negotiators. You're sure?
Yeah, I'm
trying to
pretty,
address it.
Yeah, I'm almost positive I looked at it, but
Okay.
Do you know the number, Valerie?
Did you guys just negotiate it last year? Because I negotiated 3 years.
It was before me.
Okay.
And just to clarify, like, because of the scenario that we're in, these decisions will be made on legal measures, not like on teacher performance or anything like that, right?
Teacher performance is a portion of that policy, but the priority is given to how long they've been here and then their certification area And then if you come down to two teachers that are close or about the same,
Then
you
you
can
can
consider
pick,
that.
but pretty much
Mhm.
the formula is picking it for us,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
yes.
Any other comments? No? All right. Moving on to staffing, and I'm gonna turn that over to you, Chairman O.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, are we needing to acknowledge receipt of the canvas?
No.
That was
just
Yours
CV.
didn't
Just for
get-
CV only?
Yeah, ours
'cause
ours
didn't
didn't pass.
So you don't need
So
to.
there's
There's
no
nothing
need
to
for
accept.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Policy 5740 B, that's policy
Okay.
5740.
Thank you.
Okay, staffing for the Clearwater Valley District. We've got a number of positions we're gonna have to deal with. Yeah.
No, remember I talked about this
Yes.
Oh,
earlier?
that one.
Thank you.
Yep,
Yeah, I
this
was-
is where you need to make a motion.
Okay. That we will postpone that until next month.
No.
Nope.
I need a motion that says I need a motion to table this staffing
Okay.
due to the potential open meeting law violation is the motion
Okay.
that I need.
Yeah,
All right.
that's-
Do we have a motion to that effect?
I thought it was the thing later on, but.
Nope,
It's
this is
both
part of
of
it.
them.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'll make a motion that we table this due to the potential open meeting law violation.
Okay. That was-
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Any
Okay.
opposed?
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you're paying attention.
Yeah, thank you for paying attention.
Typing,
All right.
which helps.
Oh, that is nice.
Go back to this. Approval of formal plan of improvement.
No action?
No action?
Mhm, no action.
That's right, okay. We don't even have to address that, right?
Nope.
Approval of surplus items.
I just have to share that the reason we have 115 toilet paper dispensers is because the company ordered them, decided they didn't work here, and then left them. And we said, come pick up your toilet paper dispensers, and they said, no, we don't want them.
We don't want that. Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the surplus items? We're just dispersing them, right?
Yeah.
But we need a motion, right?
I make a motion to approve the surplus items.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We award bid for the Kevin Zumwalt Wrestling Facility.
I was thrilled that we had 6 bids for the Kevin Zumwalt Wrestling Facility, and those bids are here if someone wants to look through those. The architect and Jared looked through those to make, well, the architect looked through them to make sure that they were all in compliance. And so the bids are listed there, and the lowest bid is from Redline Construction, which is a local company, for $600,000.
And we're pretty much obliged to take the low bid.
Low bid unless it doesn't meet the criteria, and yes, it does meet the
It
criteria.
meets the criteria. Would anybody like to entertain a motion?
Do you have anything else you want to talk, like, any,
Should this be said that doesn't matter?
We can discuss it too.
It's not general, it's, the funds come from the Kevin Zumwalt endowment that they gave. These funds are, they're Mountain View money because Mountain View has them in our holding, but it was a donation with the purpose of doing this work. So it's to create a facility for the wrestlers to use for practices and events. It's a beautiful facility, again, all the bid packages here, and it was listed online. There's a website, if you want to go and look at what it looks like.
So no Mountain View School District money is going toward this?
No Mountain
Okay.
View School, it is our money because it runs through our accounts, but
We're
this was
holding it.
100% donation money
Okay.
that was donated for this purpose.
was there a suggestion made from the committee
To me,
on which one to?
we have to go, it's a bid, it's because it's going through our accounts, we have to go with the lowest bidder unless they don't meet the criteria set forth by the contractor, by the architect.
Were you gonna say something? I make a motion that we go with Redline Construction for the Kevin Zumwalt Wrestling Facility.
Have a second?
that. I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'm going to turn it over to you, Chairman O.
And
Okay, we are
Aaron can't vote.
at the,
Oh, no, it was everybody.
Oh, that was everybody. No, it was Grangeville. Only Grangeville.
Well, it's
our
going to
money, and
Grangeville,
we're gonna
but
start
you said it's
spending it
Mountain
now.
View counts.
Okay.
It is Mountain View account.
Oh, should we
Wait,
you guys,
okay.
you,
Troy, we got 'em
you're
all.
good with it?
I say aye.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Doesn't really matter, but yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna change that.
Now I'm
to
gonna
Mountain.
turn it over to you, Chairman Manel.
okay, we're on item number 10.
Yep.
Which item? I'm trying to follow that. Yeah. We are on the field light repair. Is that correct?
The baseball
No,
field
baseball.
improvements with Josh Bradley.
One above it, okay. The baseball field improvements. All
There it is.
right, there we
I
go.
was like, where'd he go?
Okay, I know there was paperwork in here about it, but I would like to hear something more about what is actually needed there.
All right, my name is Josh Bradley. I've been the head baseball coach at Clearwater Valley High School since 2014. I'm the president of Cairo Kuski Youth Recreation, Central Idaho League, which runs baseball for all the area kids from Orofino to Grangeville, Kuski, Cambia, everywhere in between. Since I took over the program, basically I took over a piece of ground that wasn't much of a baseball field, and we got to work on it. The second year at the time, Randall Miskin was the principal down there, who eventually came up here, and I was told the first year when we just had benches, no home run fence, no nothing, not to do anything because we're gonna get a big grant, and then we're gonna do all this stuff. So year 2, no big grant. I said, dude, you get a big grant, go after it, cool, but we're gonna get started on the program. And so through the community, we started developing the baseball field, built dugouts, we built bullpens, did a bunch of work, moved the backstop back so it wasn't encroaching on the football field. Class of 2017 welded our home run fence, did all that themselves. So we made it into a pretty nice baseball complex since then, and we just continued to want to work on it. The project we did a couple of years ago is we built, and I'll give this to a couple of you. You're gonna see there.
I think I put that in the packet.
Oh, did you?
I
All right. All right,
did.
that's good.
Yes.
Anyway, what we built a couple of years ago was basically a snack shack, an announcer's booth, and a media room, and then a storage facility, all in one building that's kind of behind the backstop there. And one thing we noticed in the last couple of years, we put up temporary, awnings you take camping with you. We got about 4 of those we put up because if it rains, and it always rains in spring baseball, we got those put up. And so this last year, I had a buddy of mine down who actually was one of the contractors that built the building that we use. And I was like, man, we want to put a permanent awning on that building. That way we're not putting up these, these tent type things up there. That'll help kind of enclose that a little bit, make it look better, and help with our concessions and all that stuff. So he was on board. He's like, yeah, that's great. That wouldn't be hard to do. Usually with all these projects, we involve the players as well. So they're required to kind of get to work on this stuff too. So that's what I'm here tonight with one of the things. I want to build just an awning that will cover the barbecue, cover the front people when they come up to the concessions, and get that put on there. The second thing that we're working on, and I had a couple players present a couple months ago about one of the things we don't have is batting cages. Came up with a concept. We do have bullpens. If you're not a baseball guy, bullpens are where pitchers warm up. We're limited on space, so we came up with a concept that was like, it'd be really cool if each team had their own bullpen and their own batting cage. So when you show up to play, like Orofino, you go there, they got a double batting cage on one side. You kind of hit next to each other, you trade time being in there. With our setup, we're gonna have one on the visitor side, one on the home side, and it'll also be the bullpen that they pitch in too. So Lincoln, Barger, Barack, they got approved for that, and now we're raising money and all that good stuff. But with that, one of our other things we want to do is our backstop is chain link. It's been that way forever. One of the things you do is the first bar that goes across, if you're standing up, it's kind of right in eyesight. And so one thing we've thought about doing is let's take that chain link down, let's put up poles, and let's use like a netting system like they have in Orofino. Just make it a lot better for visibility. And so that's another little project that we would like to get going on. And then right now, we've got the same stands, and this is kind of a little further down the road, but we've got the same stands that we've redone. That same class of 2017 took all the boards off, sanded them down, repainted them, put them back up. But the metal's pretty old. It's just old. It's old stuff, all right? So we make do with those, but we have some grandiose ideas. I'd actually like to put in some stadium seats at some point, like 50 of those. Not saying we're gonna get to that right away, but what I'm looking for approval for tonight is to do the awning on the building, and then also rework our backstop and do our netting. The awning on the building, we can still do that in the winter. The backstop, we'll see. Might be a little too late to get out there and rip up the field and still be good for the spring. So that might be like a little bit later spring project. But, you know, never know with the weather down there either. As far as funding this, just like most of the things we've done down there, we haven't asked for money, just approval. The community's been great, the kids have been great, and so even with this right here, I haven't went and asked for fundraising or anything like that, but I do have a lot of friends that are contractors. I do have a lot of friends that own building companies and things like that. So they've been like, yeah, we're on board, we'll help you out with stuff. And so I know the materials at least that we can get for the awning, we're gonna get that taken care of. Whatever money it costs, we do have fundraising money. So we're not asking for money on that. And same thing with our netting project, that'll essentially be funded, self-funded by us as well. So I think that's about it. I'm also excited, we're gonna actually vote on some lights tonight, which comes up next. I would encourage everybody to vote on that. I've been very excited to actually get all our lights working down there too. So if you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
My one question is, it's my understanding with this project we're talking about, there is no district money that will have to be spent at this point.
Correct.
Okay, so if that comes up, we will have to vote that as a separate issue at that time.
Yes.
Okay.
That should be part of your motion.
Yeah.
Unless you guys want
them. Okay, do we have a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion. Does it need to mention the no funding from the?
It's better if it does, yes, because if it does come back to you and they ask for funds, then you're making a motion.
Yeah.
I make a motion, we accept the field improvements proposed by Josh Bradley.
With fundraising efforts?
With fundraising efforts to pay for all the expenses.
Okay.
I'll second.
We have a second from Tom. Okay, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, no opposition.
Is he and I?
Aaron's in favor.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, so the light repair is the next one.
Okay, so the lights at the CV field have been a bit of a concern for a while.
Yeah.
And for a number of reasons. One of the concerns was the quality of the pole, that the poles were aging out. And so what you have in your packet are three options. The first option is a complete replacement of poles, lights, and all wiring. The estimate for that, the initial estimate was at $376,000. Option two is to replace an issue on those poles, and there's a picture of that, is that they use a Federal Pacific panel box. And there's some pictures here. Federal Pacific is a panel box that's been recalled, and because it melts. And you can see some pictures, the ones that shine down on the baseball field, this is that panel, it's actually melted. And so it does need to be replaced. And so option two is to replace all 8 of the Federal Pacific panels on all 8 poles and lower the breaker to 6 foot. Right now, if those breakers go off, someone with a lift truck has to get up there to flip that back on. So if you're going to do work on a pole, I would recommend you bring it down. And then option 3 is to replace the Federal Pacific panel on the pole that's having trouble, lower the breaker, and then there's a lift rental to do all of that work, which brings that price to $4,320. Additionally, the switches that turn those lights on are not contactor switches, and to replace both of those switches, so it would take care of and reduce these power surges that go through. To replace those 2 switches would be $3,007. My recommendation is that you take option 3, replace the Federal Pacific panel on the 1 pole, lower the breaker to 6 feet, and replace the 2 switches. That is a total cost of $7,327. I have a budget source for you. We budgeted $40,000 for grounds and maintenance. At this time, there is $11,000. We have spent $11,000 out of that, with the remaining $29,341. Clearwater Valley's portion of that would be $9,780. So you could do this within your grounds and maintenance budget.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion among the group?
So there are 2 panels involved in this.
Yes, the 1 panel, the lights are working still. It's the panel for the baseball field that is not working, correct?
So panels I think they're referring to are on top of the poles.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 poles that have lights that aren't working. So that would be 2 panels, right?
So my understanding is the pole that's having trouble is the one that shines down on the baseball field, so that panel. Likely all of the panels are bad. Federal Pacific panels are bad. They're burning houses down across the nation. Thank goodness we're not in a building with any of them. So the recommendation I had was to replace the one above the baseball field.
So there are 2, Josh can speak to this, but.
If there's any way I can just input this, there's a pole behind each dugout, okay? The pole behind the visitor dugout towards the bus barn side, there's 4 lights out there. They're all brand new lights. Like we bought them a couple of years ago. It's the infrastructure. So there's 4 lights on that pole that are out. On the other pole, by the home dugout, these are both baseball ones and didn't affect football, there's 1 light out on that one. So basically, those 2 poles at least need to be addressed. By all means, it'd be great to get everything addressed, but those 2 poles are kind of crucial for baseball. And we added, when we did the lighting project, we decided we needed 4 additional lights. Again, this was fundraised. So Vista was nice enough to do this for us with a big bucket truck. They added 2 more lights to each pole. All right, this was done in October of last year, not this year, last year. Now, when they did that, that's when later on we turned the lights on in the spring. We had 4 lights go out on this pole, and then eventually 1 light go out on this pole. And they worked with us, they were awesome, but eventually they said, you've got old infrastructure, I don't know what else to tell you. You got new lights, you got old infrastructure. The breakers need to be addressed, and that's as much as we can do as far as what they did for us. So, again, 5 lights are out right now, brand new lights, but it's the infrastructure on top of those that needs to be addressed.
So the picture I was given was the side with 4 lights that were out. I didn't have a picture of the other one.
Okay.
Are the current lights there, are they LED or?
They're LED, yeah.
Whoa. This is Clearwater Valley, I'm sorry, Dee.
Sheesh, B. Gosh. So the current lights that are there were paid for. First off, thanks to Freedom Northwest Credit Union for paying for it. And Cairo kicked in money.
Yeah, Freedom Northwest funded half of them, and then a lot of the youth organizations and community members kicked in the other half. And that was 3 years ago.
And so at that point, at the 3-year ago mark, we wouldn't have been able to have night games anymore because of safety. The lights that were there were garbage. So through fundraising, through no cost to the school, at that point, we got new lights. And then Avista agreed to install the lights for free, which thank you to Avista as well. That was wonderful. But now we're in a position where the power feed to the lights is lacking. So I think to fix the lights that are currently out, we'd be at 2 panels.
Okay, so that would be, to do option 3 twice, you'd have to forego, to be able to afford that, you'd have to forego your contactor switches. So doing option 3 twice would be $8,640, of which you have $9,780 left in your grounds maintenance. It's gonna run you tight. We're only That leaves us a lot of the year that something might
Yeah.
come up. But,
That said, can we pull money from that infrastructure grant for that?
You could, that Renewing America Schools is designed to be for buildings, not playing fields. Could you slide it through there? Probably. I just know that when they look at that, they want us to have it be bigger projects and buildings, like roofs and floors and windows and that kind of thing.
Where did we get these numbers? Because if we did option 3 on 2 breakers, we wouldn't be lifting doing a rental lift
You're correct.
twice.
I just doubled option 3, so
Yeah.
yes, that'd be less. That'd be $7,040.
Right.
It might be a little bit more because your lift rental might be a little bit more than the $1,600. And these are estimates.
Do we have a motion?
I have some more questions
Okay.
first, sorry. Okay, so if we did option 3 twice, minus one additional cost for the lift rental, that comes out to $7,040, if I'm correct? So then if we added the contactor switches, that's $3,007. So that puts us at $10,047. I mean, that's.
You have 9,780 available.
So recently, when I talked to you about some of the electrical stuff you were talking about, like, for example, there was issues with, I think it was with a power system here in Grangeville and like its proximity to the building and that kind of thing. And we had discussed how some of the major expenses that we were putting into facilities improvements were being tracked specifically, that, you know, you didn't want to upset the public, that those funds for those large dollar projects were going to be earmarked as Grangeville projects. So is there no way there's any extra additional funding, because we did talk about a little bit of a surplus
So
to
those
do
are,
this and have it be a CV money thing?
those are the Renewing America Schools, and you will be making a decision in the next couple of months about the transformers. The transformers that Grangeville has and Clearwater Valley have to be replaced. They're going out. They belong to the school. So when they go out, Avista can't just come and work on them. It's an issue. The Grangeville transformer had to be replaced because of its location, because of its proximity to the school, how close it was. So because it's a school transformer and it's directly related to a building, it would be an easier pass through the Renewing America Schools grant. That was the grant. That was the funds that I was talking about.
Okay.
So you do have money, and if you decide that you want to choose to use your Renewing America Schools, and I'm sorry I don't have a balance for you, Connie might right now. You have to know the auditor may have issues with it because they want it to be on a facility, not on grounds.
So if we replace both poles and lower the breakers to 6 feet right now, can we update those contactor switches later? Or is that
Absolutely.
just not
Yes, those are in a
cost-effective?
different location. One of the switches may be what's causing the problem, so I would recommend you get those switches made. You should turn lights on, especially AED lights on. You should turn them on and off with a switch, not a breaker. And so, yes, that's why I recommended that you replace those switches. But if you want to prioritize that other pole, that's within your rights as well. And staying within your grounds and maintenance budget, not using your facilities funds.
Hello, any comments? I just don't see the point in fixing one pole when the issue is both.
Yeah.
To me, it's abandoning the problem. So I think we should just fix the problem, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agree.
Is there any reason why they included new lights in the bid when the lights were bought 3 years ago?
That's
Under your bid number 1?
I was just given that bid for the full replacement of all lights. And it was, really replacing the poles is not within our budget right now, so I didn't spend a lot of time on option 1. I'm just giving it to you for clarity, for transparency.
It doesn't make sense, like, oh, we're gonna replace lights we bought 3 years ago. We need poles, and we need infrastructure, so that drastically inflates option 1, obviously.
Right. Even option 2, which is not to replace any poles at all, is beyond our budget. And there's no poles or lights at all in option 2.
What was the price of option 2 again?
$25,000.
Okay.
That's replacing all 8 of the panels and lowering the breakers to 6 feet.
Okay. Is that with those what was it, those switches you were talking
No,
about?
that was not with the contactor switches.
The switches are 3,000 alone.
Gotcha, okay.
So I think we can do the 2 poles and do the switches later.
I think we do that, and possibly we could look for, I mean, we have had generous community donations.
Right.
Maybe we could find another way to fund the switches.
Right.
Okay.
Did I hear you correctly when you said it might be the switches that are the problem too, causing the problem?
The problem is the Federal Pacific, but you don't want AED lights being turned on with a breaker. You should have a contactor switch for those. What it does is it sends the power to them individually. It's like really quick. You see them come on. If you've been at a stadium, you'll see those lights come on like that. That's because instead of just putting the power on to all of them at the same time and running all of that through your panel, they're coming on at a.
Yeah. Do we have a motion?
I'd make a motion, we do option 3 for 2 poles, 1 lift rental, not 2 lift rentals.
Okay.
For a total of what?
7,040?
Thank you.
$7,040.
Thank
Do we
you
have
for
a
double
second?
checking my math with the calculator.
I'll second.
Mine is Kim.
Okay, we have a motion second to go with option 3 for the 2 poles.
I'll second it.
No, I already had a second.
Yep.
Oh, he
There you
did.
go. Yep,
Okay.
he did it. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Aaron's in favor.
Unanimous?
That?
Aaron's in
Thank
favor.
you.
Okay.
I'm glad you're sitting over there telling me what he's doing.
Can I ask a question just on that topic real quick? So, it's already too wet to do anything. So if a lift has to be on the grass, we can't fix them. So,
Or you have boom truck.
well,
Yeah.
that's a good point, but it's Avista had to bring a truck in from Pullman?
Wow.
Yeah, it's special, so it's a long ways up, so.
The one thing I would assume with those 2 poles though, is that since the lights are already up, they should hopefully be able to work on those
Right.
from behind. The home dugout one might be a little more difficult because it's a little more closed in, but even then, if it had to go around, we could hopefully figure something.
So it either needs to be sooner or after it freezes.
Yeah.
So when will this project start? Can I ask that?
No.
Or who facilitates that, I guess?
I would notify maintenance tomorrow and they'll reach out to the electrician, and then we're at the mercy of when an electrician can get us in there.
Okay, so you'll have an update for us later.
Hopefully by
Okay.
your December meeting.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
I'm not saying it will be done. I would have an update for you.
Yeah,
in
no, I know,
December
I know.
meeting.
I was just wondering when we would know. Thank you.
All right. So we have a motion and second. Did we actually vote? I don't.
we did.
We did.
Okay,
Yep,
all
it's
right.
done.
I missed that. Okay, next item is for us, the approval of mission, vision, and value statements. My first question, have you all had the chance to look at that and feel comfortable with them?
So these are not recommendations. These are your current Mountain View School District mission,
Right.
vision, and value statement. The drafting of a mission, vision, and value statement takes time, and it should be more voices than just the board. It should include teachers, administrators, parents, local business owners. So what I'm asking today is that it's on here, that a couple of you, one of you volunteers to be on the mission vision. I talked to the principals. The principals are happy to facilitate mission. This is a Grangeville, if you want to listen in so I don't have to repeat. The principals are happy to facilitate the meetings that it takes to create a mission, vision, and value statement, but it takes multiple meetings and some time.
Yeah.
And so we would need a volunteer from the trustees to represent the trustees in that. And then once they're drafted, they would come back to you for final vote.
Do you need a motion for that, or can we just?
I just need a
appoint?
volunteer.
Just somebody volunteer. I don't think we need a motion, just who wants to volunteer for it.
I would volunteer to do that.
All right.
You don't want to do it?
Second that.
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's it for us right now. Turn it
You're
back to,
Well, we need to do the same thing. Do we have a volunteer to be on the committee to figure these things out? Perfect. Thank you. Back to you, Chair Mano.
excuse me, logo selection.
So both of you, and you might want to do this at the same time, but you'll have to take action. You have packets. These are the logos that were selected by, that were submitted by Forest Clearwater Valley School District. If you would go through those and determine which one you think is best, and then you'll have a vote on that shortly. And then Grangeville, you'll do the same thing. You had more submissions. The names have been removed so that you're not swayed by name or anything like that.
Take a couple minutes.
So it'll take, if you want to just spend a couple minutes, identify your first and second, that might help you come to consensus about which one you think is the best.
Well, we can decide tonight.
Yes, please, because the guy who's making our websites and our E-Ray needs these logos to be able to make a decision. He's been pushing me. And if you have conversations between you, you need to be careful. This is a public meeting. Make sure people can hear you. I will share mine with you.
Paula, when you're ready.
Oh,
What if we,
you want it? Thank you.
can I talk or is this CV time?
Yeah, CV first.
It's CV time. It's so nice to have a tech person here. Thank you.
Comfortable?
So much, Michael.
Find one you
It
like.
was nice.
I mean, I
He's a
think your
blessing.
writing is amazing.
Board you
You
want?
know, like
Thankful
having
for
the
him.
Something
resident
else?
because it's our mascot. But honestly, we don't really have bighorn sheep here, which I always thought was kind of odd. So it's just me. But, so for that reason, I kind of like the focus of the river myself. Because it's a river community, so I kind of like the second one, and I kind of like the last one because it includes elk, which I feel like is probably more indicative of our new district area. Those are my thoughts. I mean, our mascot's not changing, so. What was that? I don't know if we can we, so Alyssa, if we like a logo, could we like talk to the artist and be like, we like it, but could you maybe change this?
Yeah, I'm looking at Michael because he's being held hostage by a website provider, but it sounds like yes.
I would need to, I think, I think what I could do is maybe help, if that's okay, modify them or digitize them, because I'm gonna have to digitize them anyway.
That's what, I guess was my question, like you could polish them out. Okay.
Alright,
I'm fine with doing that.
Okay.
Okay.
let me ask a question. Should we let you do that and then table the final decision till next?
We probably don't wanna do every one of them.
No, I will need a logo. I mean,
You need
if
it,
you
so-
want
You'll need
Okay.
to select
your
one.
internet
Gotta be
paid
done
for,
Yeah, alright.
I
So we
need
gotta do it.
something to work
You
with,
got it,
but
okay, that's fine.
if you can dream it, John, we can do it.
Right. Okay. Thoughts from the group?
Did our principals get to look at these? Vinny, Melanie, did you guys get to look at these things? Would you like to?
I'm viewing them here.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, do you have an opinion?
But this is my first look.
Okay.
Okay.
We should really,
If I was to add anything on behalf of the Clearwater Valley School District, we have Elk City, so I would think that the Ram wouldn't be the emphasis because that would be the school, in my opinion. Clearwater Valley,
There's an Elk.
Rams, and Coos.
Yeah.
One of them.
I like that,
Yeah.
but I,
I think that's the only one with an elk.
Yeah.
got the elk.
Yeah.
I think that's
No,
the only, I don't know.
I was kind of leaning towards that one personally.
We got about 100 elk across the road from our place right now.
Let me see if there's any others with an elk.
So are these numbered by chance? So that we know how to make a motion?
I think they're gonna have to hold it up.
Okay.
Point
Or maybe we'll number them in the
See, and I
packet.
kind
I don't have
of,
my packet anymore.
Oh, well, even if
me
it's.
personally, my input, like, I like the, more like the circular shape of the logo on that first one though, versus this where it has a lot of text at the bottom. I feel like this is gonna be easier for merchandise and, you know, it's just, that's just my perspective. but
Would you, somebody who has a packet, I gave mine away, would you number them 1, 2, 3, 4, and then when you vote, you can say, I move that we approve logo, whichever.
Ours are
Page
pages, we can just go page 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Perfect,
That'll work,
Perfect.
yeah. And then rip it off and then give it to Alyssa.
whichever one you decide. I should have thought to number them.
I know what they look like.
Okay, I gave her to Michael.
Can we pick one and ask for a modification to it?
Yes,
that's, yeah.
yes, and Michael was saying it has to be digitized anyway.
You guys, have you showed them to Mr. Teets? Is there any way you can show them to Mr. Teets?
They were in the packet, in the
He
board
didn't,
packet.
they were handed out.
I just got them,
They
the
were
deadline.
handed
You could
out.
fund, yeah, you could just
They weren't in the
wave
board.
them to the.
You looking, Aaron?
Aaron, you looking?
Want me to number these?
Oh, I guess
Okay,
so,
that was
yeah.
number 1.
You have to keep them involved. Trying.
I can't see the screen.
So you gotta
There you go.
pull them up there.
Oh, you can't quite see all the.
Number 2.
Okay. Oh, I see.
3.
And I can't tell you the names tonight, because I left them in.
And 4.
4 is a wonderful color.
Just my 2 cents, I like 1, how you're talking, how the lettering is curved around the
Kind of
picture.
border, yeah.
But I like the picture for number 4.
So I guess my question would be, could we modify number 1 to add a ram to it, or to add an elk to it?
Yep.
So we could do that, we could take this structure, and then add an elk silhouette similar like here, maybe.
Yeah, like the head sort of coming out like.
Yeah, same kind of thing, just the silhouette like that. Maybe that's-
Yeah, and I can try to contact the artists and see if they'll.
Okay. That's my vote.
So you need to take a motion and,
That's actually the question. Is that their mascot?
what's Elk City's mascot? Is it the elk?
Yeah, what is Elk City's mascot?
Or do they
Elk
not
City
have
doesn't have athletics, so they don't really.
No, I don't think they have a
What
mascot.
is
Elk City a
City's
loggers?
mascot?
What's Elk City's mascot?
Okay.
Oh, it is.
Oh, it is Elk.
It's Elk City, I've never seen anything else.
It's a guess, but.
But it's not like we're the Elk City Elks.
Yeah, that's what I
I
wondered.
think.
Yeah.
That whole plural of the word elk
Yeah,
is a
elk,
problem.
yeah.
They are Elk City, yeah.
So,
So could we try to figure out how to do a combination of number 1 and number 4?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the text is probably easiest to change practically. Text can kind of be done. The artistry's a little different, but I'm sure we can work out either.
Can we go back to the students who did these and say, can you do this?
I would certainly try to get a hold of them.
mhm.
So what's that motion look like?
You're gonna make a motion to approve, approve the 2 logos to combined into one.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
I'll make a motion that
1 and
we
4.
accept logo number 1 and number 4 to be worked on together.
To be combined.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and second to work out a combination of number 1 and number 4. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Aaron says
Any
that works for
opposed?
me.
Aaron said what?
That works for me.
Okay,
That's aye.
all right. All right, passed unanimously.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks, one
Thank you guys.
That was
Thank
the
you.
hardest part of the night.
Grief.
Yeah.
You guys are good?
Do you have numbers
Yep.
on yours?
We don't.
Connie number.
Can we just show
Can
you?
we just hold up what we
No,
want?
like,
Well, Connie has them numbered.
Connie did number.
Connie has them numbered, so whenever you
Yeah.
pick, she can tell you the number.
Who has a number?
So if you hold them up, we'll just tell you what the.
Well, this is there. We like this one.
Okay.
Oh.
Number
Well,
13.
I make a motion that we go with this one, whatever number that is,
Number 13.
with the possibility of talking to whoever designed it to move 246, so it's next to district, so it's just 2 lines, because I don't think 246 is like super important in our, what we're advertising.
Yeah.
But
Text is easy, so.
that's the motion I make.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion?
I love this one, but I also love this one, and this is on both of our gyms already.
Right.
So that's why I'm like, I love this one, and we could maybe incorporate it somehow, but as a second option, but I feel like this one kind of needs to be, I mean, doesn't need to be, but I would vote for that one.
I agree with Mrs. Edwards, like, with the modification
Yes.
of a blue collar.
Okay, I have a motion on the table.
Okay, sorry.
Already.
We're discussing
And
it.
now
We're
you're
discussing.
trying to make another motion.
Okay, sorry.
Hold on. I have a motion on the table.
Not that one.
Not this
Anyway, the other one.
Why not that one?
Well, so can I, well, I don't know if I can.
So I get, you guys, so Chairman Harrington needs to call for a vote, and if it,
We can discuss a
Fails.
little bit.
yeah,
We can still discuss.
not if she's telling us that she likes the other one and wants to make a motion for that.
Well, don't make a motion yet.
Yeah.
I think we should consider
Easy.
this one as well,
Agreed.
with some modifications.
My first
Consider,
instinct went to
which one are
that
you, which one you,
Just because it's clean.
this is the one?
Yeah. And I like that one too.
Would you like to know about the modifications?
Not yet.
And your reasoning is because it's already existing?
It's already on both gym walls, but I mean, I love that one too, and I think we could use that one otherwise, but I feel like,
This is the one from the wall. This is an AI version of it.
yeah, I know, both of them are kind of similar, so I put them together into
Yeah.
that.
This one reminds me of the days when I went to school here, and it kind of looked like this.
I love it.
Does it?
I mean, honestly, whatever,
I don't know. I like this one, the original with the G, because it's clean.
If we're gonna do
I really like that.
G yellow, or yellow. Blue.
Well, navy is.
It is dark blue.
It's navy, yeah.
Yeah,
Can't
navy.
tell from that. I gotta see it now.
Is the logo, doesn't
The-
have your official mascot.
Where are all the places are these
Like that's
could
over
be
there, official
promoted?
mascot.
Letterhead mostly, it could be used on, swag, yeah.
Okay. Letterhead wise, I like the clean one.
I also like the idea of putting the 246 next to school district and incorporating that makes good sense.
Yeah.
And a brighter blue.
You guys ready for a vote? We have a motion on the table. All in favor,
And it's still number 13 at
Number
246. Okay.
all in favor of adopting number 13 or whatever, a motion?
With the modification.
With modification. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye? Opposed?
fine either way.
Okay,
Okay, so motion carries.
decision made.
Okay.
Okay.
Back to you, Chairman O.
Okay, back to me. Select a location for the district office.
One of the other things that we have to do to be able to get our E-rate money is we have to have an official location for our district office.
Okay.
Probably the very first thought was to put the district office for Clearwater Valley in the middle school. However, my recommendation is, let's turn that into a revenue source. Let's look at maybe renting that building
That
out,
would be my
finding
thought, too.
some way to use that building.
Yeah.
And so I don't recommend that you put it in the middle school. And then if you have a map for the high school, there are 3 possible locations, and I'll go through all 3 of them and give you the pros and the cons. So the first one is in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. You'll see room 123. That room is currently a storage room. The pros for using that facility is that there's a door there just outside of 123. There could be an entry for the public, because you don't want the public having access to students, so you want to try to be sure that you're controlling that access. However, because they use the cafeteria for lunch, we would have to build a wall there and kind of encase that door, put a pass-through in. Probably the biggest holdback for that room is heating and air conditioning and technology. It's pretty remote. Getting Wi-Fi out there would be a bit of a challenge. And then it has one heating system in it, and you'd have some pretty big modifications to do that. The next option is room 113, and that at first was like, oh, right, that's a good idea. That's an empty classroom. We could put a door going into that room 113 from the outside so that we're reducing access to the students by the public. The problem there is that sidewalk that comes from the wood shop is at a bit of a slant. And so the door would have to be as far out towards the wood shop as you could possibly make it. And then that's only a single heating and air conditioning option in there. And that's where your money is going to be, is upgrading lights, heating, and air conditioning. And then option 3, and this is my preference, saved it for the last, is room 112A, 112B, and 110. And what you would do is put in a door to the outside on 110. And that's parking lot there and a bit of grass. You could do a ramped sidewalk so that that room is ADA accessible. And they'd go right into 110, that's where your reception person would be. And then 112 would be a meeting room when the superintendent meets with administrators or teachers. And then 112B would be the superintendent's office themselves. The early estimate, and this could come out of that plant facility or the facilities funds, is it about $8,000 to do that room, to bring it to
option 3.
To opt for option 3, yes.
Was that the cheapest of the options?
Yes, because of heating and air conditioning. Those rooms already have separate duct work to them, so you don't have to do additional work there. And it's also, because of its location near the library, it's got the best Wi-Fi availability.
Okay.
And so what are those used for now?
They are currently, Mr. Martinez, you'd be a better answer to this. I believe that, he's not hearing me.
No, he's not.
Mr. Martinez. Those rooms currently are, Trio uses one of them for an office, the library uses it for an office, and then there's an individual student that uses one of the rooms, is that correct?
That's correct.
Which, you'd move those to probably 113 in that case, or do you have a different option?
We could move them around. That individual, that student has that room, sometimes behavioral and getting them into a location that is a safe zone for that individual's self. So we could move them around. It could be moved, she could be moved around. We could take that student somewhere else, but it wouldn't be as desirable as where the student is now. But we have places.
What is your input on the other locations?
What is my
Your input on the other locations, 113 or 123? Like, I'm wondering if we put our office in one of those locations, is it going to upset any future plans for classroom space, or what are those going to be used for?
So the locations, Mrs. Holthouse described all of them. The first one certainly would not be a recommendation at all of mine. The other one, it is a partially used classroom in terms of we do actually have instruction in there. We have an IDLA period. We have photojournalism going on in there, and then math intervention. So it's dedicated. Space time currently is 3 hours, 3 periods of the day, and then we do use it for overflow if we do some paraprofessional pullouts or private testing or something to that effect. We use that as well. And you said my recommendations on the other two. My recommendation would be the middle school, that front office entryway. But it's not my job to make a recommendation to you, but that would be where the district office.
What's that like as far as the
Yeah.
HVAC and internet and all that?
In the middle school,
Yeah.
we currently have internet in the middle school capacity. I don't want to speak for you, so maybe that would be the best answer for you.
It's available. It's not ready for full operation, right? But it's available to be expanded into more.
So also the cost, Alyssa, if we put it in the middle school, That'd be an increase, just maintenance, operating overhead cost, right? Because you'd be heating and internet and everything in another location.
And depending on what you choose to do with creating some sort of a revenue source out of that
Yeah.
middle school building, and who you find to use it, if it's a daycare, they may or may not be comfortable with the district office being there. You know, so that's the unknown. What you choose to do with the middle school may drive that. I would also say, depending on, I can't go down that road, so, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I would expect that they being able to use that middle school as a rental and, you know, would be very beneficial to the system in general.
I would agree.
The issue with it being a rental though is like security's already an issue with schools, right? So like if you open that up to just anybody being on campus for whatever reason, that's also an issue, right?
Could be, but that, I think a lot of that could be addressed in, when that goes out for a rental. Other thoughts?
I personally think it makes sense to put it in the building for now, just because we have nothing else in the middle school, and we don't know what direction we'll go with it. I think it, also not knowing what kind of administrative positions we'll come up with when we
Yeah.
have our new district, I think it makes sense to have everybody under one roof, just for professional collaboration, but it's just fine.
Aaron, do you have anything to add?
I'd be concerned about the,
I mean, if we did have it in the old middle schools, then we'd be able to track the maintenance needs easier, but the high school makes sense for now. I'm leaning towards option C.
Leaning toward using the high school, is that what you said?
Yes, yeah, that's option C. So far, it sounds like the best bet.
I was just gonna say, I'd be concerned about using the middle school as far as just the daily upkeep, running lights, heating, air conditioning, all that kind of stuff. That we'd be incurring more costs than we need to be.
I think currently we're heating it and lighting it, and right now though,
Minimally, yes.
yeah.
We wouldn't want to leave the building
Yeah.
unheated.
So it's not destroyed, but yeah, to actually operate out of it, yeah, it'd be a lot. It would be more than it currently is. I agree with putting it, me personally, in the high school.
Okay.
In the high school?
In the high school and
Here.
the office in here. I think that makes sense. It sounds like the first option is not really an option. The second one is not ideal, and it's a classroom space. And those other rooms are not really a designated classroom space. I think option C is
The other
the
thing
best.
there, too, if we have something that's already would work reasonably well and easily, you know, made into that, you know, for that purpose, we can always go back a year from now or whatever it is when we have a better feel for the whole thing. And if it looks like something else would work better, we can always make that adjustment at that time. We're not gonna be investing a lot of money.
The only modification you'd be making is that exterior door and
Yeah.
sidewalk in
Yeah,
that case, so it
reverse.
could be turned back into the same
Correct.
purpose you're using them for.
Yeah, be minimal, you know, modifications.
Vinny, do you have some?
So if that space was used, would it be, there's a glass front that faces the library, so would that not be, you're okay with students and people just staring at the district office personnel working and?
Well, that could be close.
The vice versa, and I just asked that question.
I'd just put a
because
blind.
The comment
Yeah.
was the only modification would be,
Yeah.
but that would.
A blind on the windows, not
Yeah.
a modification.
Pretty minimal, but yeah.
And then placement of the person that uses that room from time to time, is there an option for that?
They don't have it there, but that's good. The TRIO is a career, college career readiness program and stuff, so actually being visible is in their best interest.
I just thought you mentioned some other use for one of those rooms. There's 3 rooms there.
That's on it, that one's out of view.
Okay.
So that one.
All right.
Okay. So, have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the location of the district office in Clearwater Valley Junior Senior High School, option C, for rooms 110, 112A, and 112B.
Is it option C or option 3? Which one is it?
I don't know. What do you
If
want?
nothing's in writing, so they
So,
can call
okay, is
whatever.
it not, we'll go with option C.
Option
Yeah.
C.
Okay.
Aaron says he'll second the motion.
Look at
Okay,
Aaron.
we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Okay. How about Aaron?
Aye.
Okay. Unanimous.
Do we have to approve funding for doing this? Or is that including improving funding, we're making that decision?
So the funding, I'm sorry if I didn't make myself clear, you'd use your Renewing America Schools funding for that.
But we don't have to
No.
make that priority.
No.
Okay. All right. Okay,
Good.
we're good with that one.
High school weighted grade policy, and I'm gonna turn it over to you, trustee Edwards.
I move that we adopt the high school weighted grade policy. It's on its 3rd reading.
I second that.
Oh,
Oh, who said it first?
B.
No, I know B said it first. Who said it second?
Larry can have it.
Larry?
Well,
Okay.
Discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
This includes you.
It's
Yeah.
a Mountain View district. I said aye as well.
We're good? Ayes?
Yeah.
Meeting's been a bit of ping pong.
Unanimous.
It's all of us, yep.
Okay.
Back to you.
Back to me, this is
Minnow.
the approval of the 2 of the 3000 series policies, 3050 and 3280. Now-
As a reminder, trustee Siren had some concerns about policy 3050 and 3280. 3050 to make sure that 4-H activities for the extension club could be included as an excused absence, and then 3280 to clarify the gender at birth.
At the time of birth.
At the
Sex
time of birth.
Okay, all right. Any further discussion on that at this point?
Can I ask, before we end up in the same situation, do you guys,
They already approved them.
I
But you can't ask them because this is a Clearwater Valley.
I get what you're saying, but every time we do this,
Yeah.
They
when we
approved
get done,
them.
they come up with something that
No.
we should have done.
Yeah, well, that's the way it is.
I can't
You
make
can
no
amend it
first.
later. Yeah.
Okay.
You can amend
Yeah,
it.
talk to them.
Okay. All right, on these 2 policy issues, any thoughts, any further discussion, or how do you want to proceed with that? Have a motion?
I make a motion, we approve the policy series 3000, second reading, policy 3050 and 3280.
Okay, have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we've got a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, I do want to raise a question. Last
In favor.
last
In favor.
month, we approved that whole group of the 3000 series policies, except for these 2. We're supposed to have 2 readings before we approve, and one,
You're not required to have 2 readings.
that's in policy 1300.
For new policy, but you're adopting already existing policies, so
Is that acceptable?
I think you're
Okay.
fine
Okay,
to do it this way. If it were new policy, that's why you'll see these in a few minutes. There's some new policies that are pulled out separate, and those will need a first and second reading.
okay. Then
Good?
we are done. Back to you.
Okay. Approval of policies, series 3000. Do we have any comments before we make a motion?
Mr. Chair, first off, Madam Clerk, I have to apologize to you, I gave you the wrong list of policies to be pulled out. I have the correct list, which applies to this item, which is much smaller, but I can give it to you now.
ones you gave me before,
Disregard those.
the 3085, 3085 F1, F2, and 3580P do not strike out?
Do not strike out. The reason for that is, if I may jump ahead a little bit, policy 1300 prohibits us from approving any policy at first reading. So those have to be rolled over to a second reading. And so there's no sense in pulling out this or that or doing anything. They just go as a group. Does that make sense?
So,
This is a second reading right now.
No, ma'am. We're talking, I'm sorry. The list I gave you is with respect to item 27 at the end, okay? That's incorrect. That list of items, 27, must be rolled over to a second reading to make us.
Okay, so,
compliant.
wait. So right now, we are on approval of policies for, like, the policies 3000, 2005,
Yeah,
2010.
That's what I'm talking about.
So which one, so that is a second reading. All of those policies are a second reading.
This says first.
No. Those are all the second.
item 19.
Oh, my bad. No, okay, we're still on the same page. I discussed this with the superintendent. I have quite a number of questions and issues that need to be resolved in the policies on the list that I have. That's why I'm asking them to be pulled out, and we'll deal with them next time around. If I may, as you and I discussed, Superintendent, I'm going to give her my support, my recommended changes and adjustments, get the questions asked and everything. We're gonna do that, and then we'll come back with recommended policies for this particular list next meeting.
So are you asking for a
We can
third
adopt
reading?
what's not on this list, yes, ma'am. Well, when she's ready, sure.
Okay, so I'm a little confused. So are you wanting a third reading on all of them, or just, are we striking?
Now, I'm gonna
these
give you a
out?
list of the ones I want a third reading on.
Okay, so which ones are those?
Those are 2320.
2320 is not in this list that we're talking about.
It actually is.
No.
2320 is
Later,
20.
later, different section.
Later
I'll
on.
come back to that. It's right here. Let's start with 3005.
Okay, hold on. I gotta strike each one through, so you gotta
You bet.
hold tight. So, okay, next one.
3060.
3060. Okay.
3210.
321. Okay.
3225. And 3225F. Frank.
Okay.
3230.
Okay.
3240.
Okay.
3250.
Okay.
3255.
Okay.
3295.
Okay, hold on, hang on, let me get, I could do all those together, so 3295,
95 and then 95P.
okay, and F,
And F, all the 95s.
Okay.
That's it. All the rest of them, would make a motion that we approve them or adopt them.
A second that.
And again,
hang
my
on,
policy.
hold. Policies.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Hang on a second, you guys, I am still trying to get your motion.
I bet.
Moving through.
So,
He moves to adopt all of them except
That was-
That list. And I second it.
Thank you.
so then you want the ones you struck through to come back for a third reading,
Correct.
okay?
Third reading, excellent. Okay. Moving on. Position of an independent contractor per diem safety coordinator to district administration. Vice Chair Dunn.
Thank you. Can somebody put, it's short, can somebody put this, my memo up on the screen for the public to see? I'm gonna go ahead and read it while they're doing that, but just in case anybody wants to make sure I'm being
Do you have it?
straightforward. This is, the subject of this is from me, the Joint Powers Board, I will note, part of the packet.
Right here.
And the subject is a proposal to establish a district safety coordinator. I would ask you to recall back to Mr. Conrad Benez from Brighams, who presented information on the firearms program at our last meeting. In any event, my memo reads, by now, the need for us to pursue forward-thinking strategies to enhance the safety of our students and staff has become apparent. As members of the Board of Trustees, it is not only our responsibility also our foremost duty to create and maintain safe educational settings. Hundreds of children and their families and our broader community rely on us to make informed, tactically sound decisions regarding school safety going forward. By tactically sound, I mean real-world choices grounded in rational analysis rather than emotional responses and ineffective reactions. As a key step towards these objectives, I propose that we formally establish the position of safety coordinator within the Mountain View School District. As the board specifically authorized representative, it would be the safety coordinator's primary responsibility to oversee and coordinate all elements of the concealed firearms program, which is policy 8705, previously adopted by the joint and the separate school districts, including but not limited to managing the grantee application and review process, orchestrating all grantee trainings, equipment management, and all record keeping required by the policy. Additionally, the safety coordinator would collaborate with the school resource officer, develop safety-related volunteer and other initiatives, and oversee all programs aimed at improving school safety throughout the district, as well as other duties as directed by the board. Please join me in formally establishing a per diem independent contractor position, safety coordinator position at Mountain View School District, and I have a follow-up motion to this one. So I would motion that we adopt a per diem independent contractor position for this district.
Where would that funding come from?
Well, as somebody on that side of the equation says, we can't afford not to find it. We have one private organization that said will help us. We do have the safety fund that our comptroller and I talked about at the previous meeting, and we have our reserve fund. We might be tapping that just a little bit. I'm glad you asked, though. That's the reason I'm recommending that we establish a per diem, which is a pay per day as opposed to a salary position. Because this isn't a position necessarily that would have work to do every single day. Or it may, for example, during the semi-annual qualifications, and what's involved with that, there's going to be more time involved than just a month that goes by where the only thing that's going to happen is a weekend, or excuse me, a monthly training, that sort of thing. So because the work demands are going to vary, I think it makes sense for us to be able to manage this as we go, and that's why the per diem recommendation.
Is there a state service that's already offered through the State Department of Ed or something?
Not through the State Department of Education, it's through the Office of Building and Division Safety. And yes, his name is Mark Federson, and he actually just did safety evaluations of all 5 of the buildings. If my principals are here, look at their eyes quickly because they're rolling. Because it was long. It was multiple pages that he completed.
I will mention, I went through that library superintendent that you and I got from the ISBA, and there's no job description for it, so we would need to work that out, so that we were clear. I'll mention that Mr. Banez, who's again the Reagan's, I think they call it the safety director, he has a split position. He's their IT guy and the safety director, so for him it's about a 40-50% job for him. On top of that, the situation is such that the world isn't getting any less complicated for us in this environment, and so I can't see any more straightforward way than to deal with this. We already have one person on staff who's agreed to do this at no cost to the district whatsoever, voluntarily. So where there's a will, there's a way. And I again ask for your support in establishing this position.
What sort of training would this person need or background?
That's what we would need to establish with the job description and related things in my second motion. But my preference, to answer your question quickly, would be he would need to be somebody who's a certified and approved trainer with insurance and all that type of thing. Mr. Banez, last time I talked to him just a couple days ago, has agreed to be that person for us until we can get on our own, if we ever choose to. And he is fully insured and licensed and that sort of thing.
Is this something where we could form like a local committee with like our sheriff and Banez and use Federson's report and have the principals? Like I feel like
To do what?
to help analyze the safety and then come up with a plan of how to do that.
Well, this is a coordinator, so people can get together and have committees and form things. This is the guy that makes sure what we put in place is coordinated, is works and makes sense.
So could we just do the coordination in the committee without hiring somebody and creating a position?
I don't know how you have a committee go out on range and train people and certify them and that sort of thing, day to day, to inspect equipment, to track.
Okay, I didn't realize that was, I guess it would be good to see actual, like, tasks that are required.
Yeah, we need
That would be,
Because that's
job
like
duties.
a lot of liability.
that's why I want to recommend that we meet as a subcommittee
Okay.
and figure that out, figure out what we want out of this position.
I'd like it, I think it'd be great, I just think we should figure that stuff out before we bring it to the board for a vote. That would be my personal opinion.
I agree.
I think we need a point man, like you said. I think you need one person in charge,
Mhm.
just like you say. I would like a list of duties too.
And,
Okay.
Well, and I think it'd be great to include the sheriffs and the police who are gonna be the ones that are reacting to these things. We
I
already
will-
have like fire and,
I will share, as I've mentioned before in this board meeting, county council, Idaho County Council does not want the sheriff's department involved.
okay, well, whoever's jurisdiction
Right.
it is.
Well, jurisdiction would be with the trainer that we just, the certified firearms instructor that we just voted for, which is AFD.
But if there's an emergency, there's gonna be some sort of municipal service offered.
Sure, sure.
Call.
But you recall in our first draft of the firearms policy, we did have the sheriff as the primary responsibility.
Yeah.
And that was
Right,
taken away,
correct,
that was taken away
correct.
from us.
But
It fell, yeah.
you're talking about the safety coordinator for the whole district.
And as in this, as I specified, that the coordinator's primary responsibility is to oversee the implementation of the policy 705. So that would need to be somebody who's a certified instructor, insured, and all that.
Yeah, this involved you guys too.
So I have a question. I'm confused on appointing a new position under administration. So does this supersede the authority of our principals who manage buildings
Not
and
at
our
all.
superintendent?
Not at all. In my view, okay, this is somebody who, on behalf of the board and through the superintendent, works with the people who are involved in whatever programs we have. In this particular case, they're specifically responsible for the concealed firearms program. Make sure everybody gets the training, if their equipment's proper, all that, the paperwork involved, all of that would be that person's responsibility. Frankly, so the superintendents, superintendent and principals wouldn't have to be bothered with doing that sort of thing. This is somebody whose primary responsibility is doing that. Okay, so there's nothing in this idea that prohibits anybody and everybody from continuing to be involved in the process the same way it already is. We're just having, for lack of a better term, a specialist who's going to be our guy on site who does this.
So maybe adding administrator is not the correct term, just a safety coordinator.
Well, it's an administrative position because they would be over the entire district. I'm willing to modify terminology. It just seems to me to be the appropriate way. It's not going to be GHS's safety coordinator or Jen's, it's the district's coordinator.
You would call them the district safety coordinator?
Okay.
You wouldn't use administration because
I'm
that's
thinking in
a
terms of
certification.
budget position.
That, again, that is a budget position and they'd have to be certified as an administrator to do that?
Okay, cool.
I worry about adding any extra positions right now when we have no money for the positions that we have.
Especially when we move to independent Grangeville.
Yeah.
To me, it's all about priorities. And it is in fact the first priority of this board to ensure the safety of the kids.
And I think we can do that for free, with coordinating with the crisis team and coordinating with the people, coordinating with the superintendent, and maybe utilizing whoever we end up going with the trainings. Like, I feel like that could be a part of it, but I don't, with not knowing what the funds are, I mean.
All I can say, how big is relative, is Riggins half our size?
Riggins passes its levy every year, so.
Riggins is tiny.
Riggins is tiny and they have 40.
Yeah.
Riggins is tiny.
We can include it in the levy expense.
No,
Like,
I'm not
that's
willing,
the
I'm
thing,
not
it's
willing
like
to
we
agree
can
to
add
that.
it to the expense of the levy.
I don't see this as optional. I don't see the safety of our students as optional.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's fine.
I'm not saying that the safety of our students is optional. I agree with you. It's a priority. I don't think this coordinator position will make or break the safety of the kids. I feel like there's a bunch of people
I
working
agree
there
with
for
that.
13 years. We are doing a lot of things with local people already. We already have evacuation plans. We already have different things that are already set up that aren't to the public because we don't want the public to know about them. And so, I feel like we could do this for free, and if he's already offering it for free right now, let's get him in here and work on it.
Basically, who's the he?
Banez.
No, he didn't offer for free, he offered to do it on a per diem basis.
Oh, I
which
thought you
is-
said free for now.
No, we have a current staff member who's agreed to work towards being this person for
Okay,
free.
so that would be
Oh,
great. If that
they need
staff
more
person
training
can
and
get-
stuff to be
I'm
able
just
to
gonna have
qualify
to
for
get
that.
certified to be a trainer and all that stuff.
I think that would be great, and then once he's certified, we can look at what money we have for what positions, and then
What are we doing in the meantime?
right now, we work with what we have already been doing, and we work
Who
with the county
who
sheriff.
oversees
and
the implementation of the concealed firearms program that we just?
The superintendent.
I do.
Are you,
You
with all
have
due
pol-
respect, I know
you-
you're not a certified firearms instructor,
No.
how do you go about?
She reads the policy and makes sure that we
I
agree to it.
ensure that the grantees who apply for the job, first of all, work through the application process, get through that application process, then once they're selected by the board, I make sure that they're signed up with the company that you selected tonight, AFD, and they receive their training, and then I verify that that training was completed. I don't drive buses either, but I can supervise bus drivers.
Okay, and that actually could work, just understand that we're gonna have an AFD representative doing this for us, instead of having us have a person do this for us instead of them.
But won't they work with us?
Yeah, work with us, but I like being in charge of my own program, and having an external contractor is great. But if we have a falling out, then we're back to square one. So, this just, I'm copying straight up, I admit it, Reagan's program because it seems to work. I have not heard anything, with that one exception that I mentioned, which was public. I haven't heard one thing negative about their program.
I would love to do it. I'm in support of it. We just
Well, I think we
honestly
can find the means if we have it.
Have you looked into the cost that Riggin spends?
Say again?
Have you looked into the cost that Riggin spends to
I
have
have
that
not, because
position?
they do way more than what I'm suggesting here. Okay, they have actual teams that Mr. Banez puts together to respond to incidents within their staff. We are not even anywhere close to doing that. So I don't think that's comparing apples to apples.
When do we lose our SRO?
Next year, there's 1 year, the 26-27 school year. She's
Okay, we do have her one more.
It's pretty amazing what they're doing in Riggins. I had no idea. They're pretty comprehensive, because they assume nobody's gonna be there for 45 minutes, law enforcement wise. So they're on their own. That's how they approach it. We're better than that, obviously. But nonetheless, we can't compare them to us in that respect.
Do we have a motion?
I thought I made a motion.
I didn't hear a motion. I never
Would
did
you
hear
like
a
to do the
motion.
motion? Sorry.
I recommend we establish consistent with the superintendent's recommendation in terms of what budget category this may fall, a per diem independent contractor position of safety coordinator.
In a second? Second?
I can second it.
Chairman O?
Hang on. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay. I need something from, what is?
Aaron?
Yep,
Aaron's name.
Aaron's nay, so I had 2 A's and the rest are nays, okay.
I was a,
You were, no, I had 2 A's. The
and
rest,
me.
you're an A also? I'm sorry.
3
Okay,
A's.
3 A's, okay. Will you just give me 1 second?
So what's the count, Madam Clerk?
It would be 7-3, so motion failed.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Before we move on,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of questions asked about setting up a subcommittee.
Well, there's no point if we don't have a position.
But we still have the knowledge.
We can establish the position by a subcommittee coming back to us and saying, this is what we think this position needs to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And then we have a lot clearer picture of what we're approving.
Yeah.
You're
I
absolutely
mean,
right.
that was a lot of the serious questions were, what are we approving?
Right,
And it's probably where we want to go eventually. It's a good way to operate, but
right.
we're just not.
I feel like this is just such a fluid topic, because right now it's on here as a Mountain View School District topic, and we're gonna have about 6 months of that. And that's why I feel like at one point they will need to make their own decisions based on their buildings, their district structure, and ours will be so different. It's kind of, I feel like we can make a subcommittee, go through a lot of work to make this team plan, and then wash it all away and start over. So that's
Yeah.
just my opinion.
I agree.
Any other discussion or a new motion pertaining to this?
So do we need to make a new motion to have a committee?
The clerk will allow it to be, it's not technically on the agenda.
It's not on the agenda.
Okay, so next,
Well, we can put it in-
next month we can do that.
I don't
Yep.
know that it would take an agenda, an action by the board, but we currently have a safety committee that meets in the district, and if a trustee wanted to join that safety committee, which I think functions very highly, I think that might be a great place to start, maybe a trustee from both. And some people join that committee electronically, so maybe a trustee from both of the prospective new districts could jump into that safety committee and see what's there, and then come up with what we need from there.
Perfect. That sounds more useful to me.
Would anybody like to join that, or just, do you want to think about it at this point in time? And we don't have to make a decision now.
Interested in that?
It's available. Okay. Any other comments?
I guess, how do we set that up? I'll
Just
volunteer, you'll
if-
let me know?
Yep.
Okay.
I
I'll
don't, off the
volunteer.
top of my head, know their meeting dates, but,
We have a volunteer.
So you
Thank
are?
you for volunteering. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
trustee Dunn.
Oh, he's gonna
And trustee
volunteer.
Dunn's gonna
Okay.
be on too? Okay, perfect.
I was just-
Um,
So is there no action on the next two items then, since the first one didn't pass?
It's 2 items?
No, I think
no,
there's
it's
still
a
his.
different
It's a different
It's a
deal?
different topic,
Okay,
yes.
different topic.
memorandum,
Okay, sorry.
proposed policy, district legal information database.
This is, if I may.
Yep.
Mr. Chair. This is something that actually came to my attention over the last few years as I've been working on policies. In my prior career, whenever there was a change in law, there was a system established basically by the higher-ups, by the legislature through the state, where all of the agencies involved, law enforcement, were notified in a timely manner of changes in law, required changes in procedure, and that sort of thing. Based on the memo you have before me from you, this one, it doesn't appear to me that the school system statewide has any kind of a unified way of doing that. It was pretty common that I would work on some policy and I'd go through what I could find on the website and go through Idaho code the best I could, because, nobody expects anybody to wade through all of that just simply looking for a needle in a haystack. But I'd come up with a draft policy and then I'd take it to somebody and they'd say, oh, we already have a law about that. And I go, oh, okay, that's great. I didn't hear about it. It was by mouth or whatever. I also mentioned, and again, I want to be, not again, but I want to be upfront about this. This is not a criticism of the superintendent by any stretch of the imagination. This is a system issue in my opinion, okay? The people in this district, the parents, the kids, the patrons, have a right to know if there's changes in the law that are going to impact us and impact the way we do things, restrict this or allow that, changes, okay? We have a right to know that. And we don't have a unified means of doing that. So that's what this is about. What brought this to a head for me, and this is an item later, I'll give you the number if you want to take a quick peek at it. This is, following my little speech here, the next 3 items are all about House Bill 352. House Bill 352 is, I believe you all should have gotten the memo from the County Policy Center, was a law that we should have had policy in place in July, and we didn't. Because in my opinion, the information didn't get to us. I can't fix what happens outside these walls, but I can fix the way we handle information, or I can suggest a fix to the way we handle the information once we get it, and that's what this database concept is about. Just similar to, I'll let you read the memo, I'm gonna ask that you do. The suggested policies attached. All I'm asking is that we create a single page Adobe text box form Michael tells me we already have Adobe, we don't have to pay for any programming or anything, and we can do that in-house, I'd be happy to design the thing. And all it would do is for the elements recommended in my policy, that we just have a box for each one of those, and as these things come in, that we just pop it open and put it in, because they would all be categorized, I would think, according to the number of the law. Every law has a number attached to it, and we probably have a federal one and a state one. But we could keep track of them that way, and we just have a simple database that people could go to and look at that says, here's the law, oh, okay, oh, I didn't know that, okay, and you learn. I just think it's information we ought to be sharing with people and make accessible, and this seems to me to be a pretty straightforward way to do it. So, that's what this proposal is about, pretty straightforward.
What do you consider the amount of man hours per year that would go into this?
I don't see that it would, I can't imagine that it would take more than, the hard part of answering that question is not knowing how many changes in law that affect us actually operationally we even have to bother with. Superintendent, would you have any idea?
So the State Department of Education does the Spring Road Show, and they give us a list every spring, and I believe the list is on their website. So there is an existing website. Every year they'll give you the changes in the law. I don't know, I think probably there were 15 to 20 law
Every
changes
year?
last year.
Okay.
There's been more in the recent years than there have been in the past, because for some reason, well, anyway, there have been more in the last few years. You know, policy 2320, it's the law. We should have had a policy. Last spring when I read that the law was there, I looked at our materials review policy and thought that we had met it because of the age appropriateness of the material. Apparently we didn't. I'm fine with that. We now have a first read of the policy here. I don't know if we need a PDF. We could just put a link to the State Department's page on our website. That might be just as easy.
The states, you're talking Department of Education?
The State Department of Education, sde.idaho.gov.
They deal with more than just K through 12, so, right? And are there laws that don't apply to
The
this
State
district?
Board of Education does the State Department of Education's K-12.
It's
So
just
it would be
K-12.
just education, laws that impact K-12 education.
Are there laws that do not impact every school district in the state?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we wouldn't, I'm not sure why we'd refer somebody to a catalog for the entire state, which may not refer to us, when we could selectively post these ones do affect us operationally. That's kind of the bottom line here.
If the intent is to inform the public of the laws in Idaho that impact education, wouldn't it be all laws in Idaho that impact it?
The intent is to inform our patrons and public, parents mainly, of laws that impact the operations, as the memo says, okay? There's gonna be some things that come down that operationally are insignificant to the public. They just are. Some accounting things you have to do different or whatever. I mean, it's there, we comply with it, and that's fine. But if it's something that impacts the way we deal with students in any respect, maybe a change in a healthcare law or something like that. If it's something that requires that parents receive a notification for, if that gets added or taken away, I think people should have a right to know that without having to go search for it on a statewide database. It's a simple concept, it really is. To answer your question, Mr. Chairman, I only type with 3 fingers, okay? And so I can't speak for speed, but if there's 15 new laws that come through every year, and I'll accept that, more or less, then I'm thinking, 8 to 10 hours. We're talking about opening a form that you pull down like you would out of the policy database. Open a form, fill in a blank, put the form back. Boom. How long does that take?
Does it need to be a form, or can it just be?
That makes it uniform, and that makes sure we don't miss any elements.
If they're already available on a website, I don't think it's necessary for our staff to spend time reinventing the wheel. It could just be posted on our website. Click here for Idaho laws.
What we could do though is adapt what's from State Department of Ed and just put a red asterisk next to the ones that actually apply to, I mean, if the superintendent wanted to like print it out and asterisk and
Okay, that's a good
What, the
start.
ones that
You
are
should look
local
at-
and move on?
you should look
That's,
at the
that's what I was
elements.
thinking, is like, just take what the State Department has out there and remove the ones that don't apply to a school our size and, or location, and just have that list that the State Department gives us.
Well, that's a good start, but does it address the elements I have in my recommended policy?
No,
Can I show
no, it doesn't have all, it would just be the law and and the change in the law.
Yeah, I would just tell you what the law is, and so somebody's gonna read that and say, okay, so what?
So you
This would
ChatGPT
do the
it.
so what part, because for example, it says, did this law require a new or amended district policy? Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Chair, or Trustee Dunn, can you think of another entity, governmental entity that already has one of those? Like, I don't think anybody's telling me about the changes in the laws of driving every year. And I think one of those big changes happened this year, because I think you can now go more than 10 miles an hour over the speed limit if you're, or wait, you can go faster than the speed limit if you're passing somebody going 10 miles under. So nobody told me about that. That's my responsibility as a driver. So do you know of an entity that does that somewhere in Idaho?
I don't, but again, I wanna stay focused on the fact of providing information primarily to parents and to patrons about how this impacts us locally. And that, I can't see where that type of thing, it's a good example, I can't see where that type of thing is that much of a concern to as many people as we have.
So
I don't know if other parents do this, but in the past, I've gone to the State Department of Ed site and just looked at the new legislation that's gone through and just read through it. I don't know, at what point is it the citizen's duty also?
sorry.
No, I just.
I'm an interrupter, sorry. I'm more than happy to put a link on our website to all of the laws and remove the ones that don't impact schools our size. That's an easy and a quick, I don't have a problem with that at all. However, if you want me to fill out a form about every single one of them, that's asking me to interpret the law.
I didn't say every single one, I said ones that actually impact us somehow.
And this can be done on a
If
yearly
there's nothing,
basis.
if there's no point in telling anybody about it, then it doesn't apply to these.
But that's what she's offering, is the summary of the bill. And she would just take out the ones that didn't apply to our school district.
You're saying print, you're saying copy it somewhere?
I would copy it onto a document and put it on the website.
Yeah, that's what's the second element of this.
I think that sounds, just my opinion, I think that sounds more than sufficient.
I
just feel like we have a lot of work as it is right now.
I would be concerned about interpreting the law
Yeah.
in determining whether it impacted our people or not, or how well it impacted our people. I am not an attorney. I can't
And we don't wanna
interpret
pay
the
an
law.
attorney to do this.
Well, I think that's a bit of a stretch, but the question simply here is giving people baseline information. That's all it is. I don't think it has anything to do with interpreting the law. It just says what it says, and it says what we're gonna do in response. It doesn't say our interpretation of this law. If you read the draft policy and the elements that I'm recommending be on this form, it's super basic. It couldn't be more basic, because I know we're not attorneys and I don't give advice for that very reason. Okay, so to me, it's a courtesy, it's a good public relations thing to do, and people shouldn't have to go looking for things that affect their kid in this school district. We should be doing them the courtesy of providing at least a bare bones picture, and that's all I'm trying to propose we do here.
Entertain a motion?
I move that we create a legislative summary at the end of each session in the spring that's relevant
you're not
to our
approving it?
district. It's the same thing, I just don't like legal information database policy, like,
Oh, it's something else.
I feel like it's just a legislative summary that's relevant to our district.
Does it have to be a policy?
Yeah,
I don't think it needs to be a
just
policy.
maybe, yeah,
So approving a legislative summary at the end of every year
at the end of every session,
Available on the website?
available on the website.
and make it available on the website?
Would that check your boxes?
Negative.
Okay.
Okay, well,
Do we have a
is that your
second to that motion?
I second that.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
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 So who did nays?
4, I think I heard.
Aaron said nay.
Okay, so hang on, T,
I said nay also.
I'm a nay.
You're a nay?
I was a nay. TJ.
Okay, hang on, it's 5-5, motion fails. Okay.
Somebody else want another motion?
Hang on.
I think we'll just ask her to do it every once in a while. I don't think we need a policy
Well, I don't think we need
Oh,
a
is that a
policy, but I was, yeah.
or
go
anything,
ahead.
but
Did you say I didn't.
No,
I thought you
policy
didn't.
is just like a
Have it on the
task that
website.
we would add to our superintendent's responsibilities.
Yeah.
Basically,
Do we
making
have a
more work for our
superintendent next
listeners.
year?
if we have one.
6 more months.
Chairman O?
I just, break up here right for the second, but, we've been sitting in here for almost 3 hours and my bladder is telling me that I gotta do something about it quickly.
Get things done.
Could we take a 10-minute break here?
Yeah,
or
we can.
something?
Let's do
5-minute break? That would be just fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
I'm sure everybody in here wants to stretch their legs, so.
I will be making a motion on my item when we come back.
Okay, whoa, okay, so we're not, let's finish up.
Well, finish this then. Let's
Let's
finish
finish up
this.
this
Oh, we didn't
agenda
vote-
item.
We didn't vote on my item, we voted on a separate thing, which wasn't my recommendation.
Oh,
So I
well,
would
do you have a
like-
motion?
I would make a motion that we adopt, call it what you will, I'll call it a district legal information database policy, which will need a new number, as outlined in my memorandum attached to the board packet.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Yeah.
All opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
So 8-2? Okay, thank you. Okay,
All
now,
right, 5-minute
go ahead.
break, everybody.
Aaron was nay.
Aaron was a nay on that?
Yeah.
Okay, I might need some help with that one. Well, he was a nay.
Any comments on that?
This is Clearwater Valley only.
No, this is the.
Oh, no,
Mountain
this is
View.
Mountain View, sorry.
Yep.
I apologize, lost in my agenda.
I'll ask my question now while we're all together. When it's said in the policy that if a parent chooses not to allow their child to go through the sex education, that they can do alternate work, what are the parameters to that alternate work?
It would be, depending on the class, it would be in the same content area, just not sex education. And work that would be done in a equal amount of time. So like you can't say, you're gonna read 5 chapters and write a paper when everybody else is listening to a speaker.
Okay,
So it
that
would
was my
have to be.
question, because I have to say, I heard from a child that a teacher indicated that they would be given a ton of busy work and a ton of essays. That to me is not appropriate.
So that would be,
Sarcasm.
that,
So that kind of concerned me, because I mean, I'm one of those parents that I like to watch those videos before I agree to let my child doing it. But if I don't agree to it, am I signing my kid up for punishment, essentially?
No.
That's my concern. So that's something that I could direct concerns as a parent and for other parents to the
building
principal.
principle.
Okay. So it was more of a parent-minded question, but I want to make sure we weren't pigeonholing them. Okay, that was my only question.
Okay. Any other comments? Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the Series 2000 policy, 2320.
We have a
I'll second it.
Is it TJ?
Discussion?
Me.
It was
Who?
Troy.
You?
Troy.
Sorry.
All in favor?
Sorry.
Aye.
Aye.
Aaron is yes.
Chairman O? Take over?
I'll abstain.
No, you gotta,
Is that-
What?
oh,
I'm moving.
This is for this is Mountain View.
Uh,
Next, okay.
So, did everybody vote,
So you abstained from this last
You
one?
abstained from the
one, yes.
last
I
vote?
abstained in the last one.
but
Okay.
everybody else voted?
Aaron voted yes.
Okay, so 9 to
And
1.
again, this is
Right.
with respect to 2320 only, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
And then I'm
Now we're
turning
going
it over to
to-
you.
right,
as
okay,
Chair.
for
yeah.
Clearwater
Okay, so-
Valley.
Wait, so that motion passed 9 to 1.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. I wanted to make sure I got them right.
Okay, for Clearwater Valley, there's been quite a bit of discussion. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion, we approve policy 2320.
Okay, second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and second to approve,
So, I'm still on the last
What?
motion. You guys are really screwing me
Yeah.
up tonight. I am not,
They flipped it.
I made a motion.
thank you.
all right,
That's
okay,
okay.
sorry.
Aaron
Thank you,
seconded.
thank
I
you.
seconded.
All right. We up to speed now? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Okay. I
Aaron
abstain
says
again.
aye.
Okay.
Abstain, did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard John abstain.
There, Grangeville School District, approval of policies,
They have
do I have a
got
motion?
on a minute.
I make a motion to
Hey,
approve.
Wait, can you just wait a minute? Please wait.
Yeah.
Please
I'm
wait.
trying to get outta
because-
here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, you have to wait. Because
Can't leave, we can't.
you guys are throwing some
Doing great, Tracy. Keep it up.
Yeah.
crazy.
Type away.
That's why we have the recording.
Type away.
I don't, yeah, I'm not even commenting on that. Okay, go ahead. I'll go back and
I
fix it.
make a motion to approve policy 2320. Health, sex, education, human sexuality.
All right, do we have a second?
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Back to you, Chairman O.
Okay, we are on the approval of policies, the Series 3000 in this list. And I'm not going to read each one of them. Do we need further discussion?
I have some questions.
Okay, good.
Policy 3450. Why are we requiring all that information for cars? My kids might drive 6 different cars to school. So I guess what's the purpose of that policy?
When it was written originally, it was because sometimes there would be something in a vehicle and they needed to know whose car it was and they could look it up that way. In this day and age, that was back when kids had access to one vehicle maybe and not multiple vehicles. It's policy that we currently have. You don't have to have that policy. As I have said, when we're working through these, you can agree to the policies for your new district, this works for us, or you can strike them.
Okay?
And
And then
I'm
policy-
sorry, can I add one more thing, interrupt? So, as we're doing this, the procedure that we're using, we're taking Mountain View's policies and offering those to you, and you can pick and choose from those. So I can't take one out and just not offer it up.
Okay, no, I understand that. I was just wondering if there's history on why that is there. And then the other policy, 3901, it talks about this board encourages students to wear a mask.
Oh, I apologize. That should have taken out of there. It was yellow,
Probably struck it.
3901.
Yeah,
3901?
we talked about taking it out.
It was, but it was in a previous thing. This is like off in space.
A different-
I'm not really sure why it's,
I don't know why it would be there.
it's under student dress during a health emergency.
Which, do you know off the top?
It's
Oh,
1A, 3901, 1A.
Okay, so what you can do when you make your motion is just strike that portion, if you wish. You could strike the whole policy, or you could strike a portion of the policy.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
I have a question. Did we,
I didn't make good notes, hang on.
3330, was there, are we gonna do something with that? Did you?
So,
Right.
it is not in this list, because what we're currently doing is, I am meeting with the teachers weekly
Okay.
to work through that, and then after we've done that work, then we'll go back to the policy and
Okay.
see if it's meeting our needs.
Okay.
So we need to pull that out. It
It's-
is mentioned here.
3330 is
Yeah.
the student discipline.
Oh,
That's,
Okay.
You're talking about policy 3330.
yeah.
Correct, for
I
student
can't look at numbers
Yeah.
today. I'm
I
getting
know,
there.
it's been a long night.
Student discipline, so yes, I apologize, yes, it is in there. I had intended to pull that 3330 from you. I would encourage you to table 3330 until we continue our work with the discipline committee at
3330,
Janice.
put a strike through?
Yes.
Okay. So far, that's the only actual strike through to pull, right?
3901.
3901?
Correct.
You wanna
I
do
would
the
strike
vehicle-
3450 too.
The
Okay, hang on.
vehicle policy?
3450?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the vehicle parking.
Right.
How about, and the F? 3450 and 3450F then?
Yes.
Okay, so that's
Can-
4 total so far.
Can I go back to 3901? Do you want to strike the entire policy or just the portion about masks?
I would just strike the portion where it says students are encouraged to wear a mask.
That whole section 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Which one's that on?
Mask, section 3901.
It's funny 'cause you-
Okay, so what I currently have, just so that I'm making sure that I have the notes to make this happen, is 3330, 3450, 3450F, and then on 3901, the portion about masks.
1A, yeah.
Is it just one word?
Sections 1 and 2.
On
It's 1
Well,
and 2.
it says
It's 1A
students are
and B.
encouraged to wear a mask or other appropriate face covering that shields their mouth and nose while present in any school building.
Okay, it's more than a word, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's that whole section. And it's 1 and 2, isn't it?
Section
It's
1
just
and
one, 1A.
Just 1A, okay.
Section 1.
Does 1B have to come out? I flipped back away from it.
1A
I
or-
don't even know how they're 1A and B even have anything to do with the same thing.
It's funny, let me go find it.
Strike section 1A.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any reason for B to stay there, but I guess we could. Unless it's saying that you can't have pictures or symbols on your mask, which
Oh.
it doesn't apply then.
Yes, so you want to strike 1A
Yeah.
and B, and what it is referencing is that if they're wearing a mask, it can't have symbols and. So my notes show 3450, 3450F, and 3901, section 1A and B.
Yes.
I don't have sections on my list, right?
No.
Okay,
That get it?
is there anything else to tweak? All in favor?
Have to have a motion.
Wait.
I need a motion.
Well, I thought we had a motion.
So
Sorry.
I'll make the motion to approve policy series 3000 with the
Strike out?
exception of, or tabling 3330, striking out 3450 and 3450F, and striking out 3901, 1A and B.
I'll second that.
Okay, so, go ahead, go finish up and I'll make a comment.
May I ask a clarifying question? When you're saying strike out, you mean remove those policies?
Yes.
Okay, so remove 3450, 3450F, and modify 3901 to remove sections 1A and B.
Yes.
Okay.
And then for right now, it is to table 3330.
Correct.
Okay, I just want to make sure I
Yeah,
have the
we need a
notes to
student
match what we're
policy.
deciding here.
We just need to look
Okay.
at it.
All right, we had the motion,
Mm-hmm.
You have a second?
and the
That's
second, so what's the vote?
Aye.
Okay,
Unanimous.
so I will bring those 4 back next month as a second reading then.
No,
Correct?
only
the
2 of them.
3330.
3330
Just
and
3330.
just
That's it.
3330.
Just 3330, okay, all right.
Aaron voted aye as well.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're.
Okay,
Grangeville?
Mr. Chair, based on a strict reading of our existing and previously adopted policy 1300, I would move that this entire list be moved over to a second reading. 1300 is a policy which requires that of first readings, and I think we ought to stick with what our policy says.
1300,
Point of
Policy
clarification.
1300.
Point of clarification, what policy 1300 says is for new policy. We are a joint committee. We're not creating new policy. We're amending and approving existing policy for our new
I
districts.
think it also includes amended policies, but my point is, in wanting to do this, is, one, the policy says we're excited, and I'm not gonna get into a quibble over calling the board, but I wonder how many people on this panel, on this side, even saw any of these policies before preparation for this meeting, so to them, they're new. And I think we ought to give deference to what our policy says we should do, and simply roll the list over to the second reading. Absent my motion, or if my motion fails, or for whatever reason, then I've provided the clerk with a list that I would, of specific policies that I would pull out, as we've done before.
What the policy 1300 says, proposed new policies and proposed changes in existing policies shall undergo a minimum of 2 readings. And again, I would clarify, I don't believe these to be new. Those policies that they just referenced as amending, those would have to have a second.
Okay. I guess we disagree on the interpretation, but that's fine.
That's fine.
So we need a
So that's my
second
motion.
to move forward. Do we have a second?
You don't need a second, I mean, it could die from the lack of a second, if nobody
Yeah.
seconds that.
Do we have a second? No second.
Okay, motion.
So in light of
Wait,
that,
did somebody, I'll second it to move on to the second reading.
that's what you want to do?
Yeah.
Do you want a
let's move it
second
on.
reading?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can revisit it next meeting.
Fine.
Okay, hold on.
I'll-
Looking forward to that much.
So we're gonna read the entire,
Well, we
The
won't
entire-
have to read through the whole.
Yeah, the whole entire thing's coming back, since you just made the motion for a
Yeah,
second
yeah, yeah, that's fine.
reading.
I mean, we can then go back and
And as
check
long as
out
we're
the
in the
other ones.
discussion part of this motion, I have, earlier today,
Yeah.
talked to the superintendent, I have somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 questions and suggestions that I would like to address regarding approximately 2/3 of these policies at least. And she has agreed to work with me in the intervening time.
So maybe we'll get
So
those
once you
worked
get
out.
back, Get that worked out, and then we'll be ready to go.
Can we talk?
Yeah,
Or
let's talk
do we have
about
to
it.
vote right now?
Oh, no, this is,
That's nice.
yeah, you can talk.
So
Discuss.
why can't we just go ahead and approve all of these except the ones Larry doesn't want to?
Cause the
and not-
motion already is on there, so if you don't want, so.
They can
And
all
not
vote.
have a
We can
second?
vote
You
no.
can
Yeah, you can
vote
vote
as
no.
you don't want
Okay.
that.
Okay.
You don't have those worked out at this point in time, so we can't address them at this meeting.
No, I haven't, and we end up the same either way, so I'm not worried about it, I'm wanting to respect what our policy says. I understand the point, it's something that's not gonna happen probably again, because we're probably not gonna deconsolidate again, so we won't have to deal with this, I tend to like a strict reading of policy, and that's what it says, so that's what I'm doing.
Well,
If
if
you don't
Whiteford
agree,
wants to
that's
go
okay,
over again.
it's okay either way.
Yeah, I prefer to just to move on,
Yeah.
just like Clearwater Valley did.
Yeah.
Right. I provided the clerk with a list of the policies that I'd like pulled out for consideration for, as we agreed we could do previously. And we can do that also, but we do have a motion on the table.
Okay. All in favor of the motion? Okay. All opposed? Nay?
So is it failed 3-1?
3 and
3 to 2.
abstain, oh, 2. 3
Okay,
to
so
2.
that's still, so
Yeah,
you
still a
abstained,
fail.
Tyler?
What's that?
You abstained?
No, I thought she,
Sorry, it's
B didn't
3 to
raise her
2.
hand, but it's 3
I'm
to 2.
sorry.
Okay, so
fine.
Jane's
I don't work
a
well
nay,
at night.
Melissa's a nay.
Last thing.
Hang
Just
on.
kidding.
Can I make another motion?
Hold on,
Yeah,
let
you
me
can.
make sure I got everyone. So I have nay, nay, nay. Okay, motion failed, 3 to 2, okay.
I make a motion to approve all of the 3,000 policies with the exception of the ones Larry wants to go over.
You don't know who they are.
Yeah, we don't know.
He needs to go over the ones that
He
you
would
don't
need to go
want.
over
Madam
those.
Clerk, because you're actually the one making the record, not me, would you list, or would you read us the policies?
No, you have them.
You want me to?
Yeah,
Okay.
because you're the one that's recommending it, not me.
Okay, 3300, 3310, 3320, or 20, 3330, 3365, 3400P, 3410,
3400
P Paul,
P.
3410, 3450, 3450F.
I don't have
I'll read them back to you in a minute.
Yeah, I don't have them.
These are the same as the other.
Yeah, I got rid of them when you made the first
Oh,
motion,
okay.
so you're gonna have to start completely over here in a
Okay,
second.
wait, I'm at 3450F, trustee Dunn, and I have them, and I'll read them back to you if
Thank
you want to
you.
finish.
Next, 3460, 3500, 3500F, 3505, or 05, 3510, correction, backing up, 3505F1 and 3505F2. Now moving on, 3510, 3510F1, 3515, 3515F, 3515P as in Paul, 3518, 3520, 3523, 3525, 3545,
3575, 3580, 3610, or 3900.
Okay, so you realize, trustee Dunn, there is absolutely no way I'm gonna be able to get through these
I
in a
get that.
month. What was your last one?
3900.
Okay, I'm gonna read these back to you.
It's a
3,300.
motion, but it hasn't been seconded.
3,300, 3,310,
Does it still count
3,320,
to include those?
3,330,
You
3,365,
said with the exception of what-
3,400P, 3,410, 3,450, 3,450F, 3,460, 3,500, 3,500F, 3,505, 3,505F1, 3,505F2, 3510, 3510F1, 3515, 3515F, 3515P, 3518, 3520, 3523, 3525, 3545, 3545F1, 3545F2, 3565, 3575, 3580, 3610, and 3900.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Do we have a second? Motion fails. Would you like to entertain another motion?
We're never gonna get these done.
I make a motion to approve Series 3,000 policies.
Okay.
Can I discuss on that? I wouldn't mind getting rid of the things that Clearwater Valley got rid of as well. Would you like to add that to your motion?
You told them no,
With the
I
exception
couldn't do
of-
that.
Oh my
You
God.
guys are great.
You guys are
You're
great.
great. You're trailblazers.
We
You're
need to switch you guys
trailblazers.
around.
With the exception of what Clearwater Valley.
Well,
Okay, you can't
no,
make a
no,
motion
no,
that says
no,
with
no.
the
It has to
exception
be
of Clearwater Valley.
'Somebody else
3330
make a motion.
with the exception of 3330.
Can I go back to my original motion?
No.
Oh, gosh.
No. You cannot. Hold on.
You can copy it verbatim of what you
I'm
just put it
trying,
at.
I got you guys, I'm on like,
Well done.
we are on
Trustee
14
Willard.
pages of minutes.
Yeah.
You're doing a
Well
great
done.
job.
Yeah, this is. Okay, so trustee Lane,
Do we have a second?
You motion to just approve all of them?
made a motion to approve the
What-
policy
what-
excluding the stricken policies that
Excluding-
they did.
Just what they did,
Yeah,
which was 3330, which we'll address next time.
Okay.
yeah,
3450 and 3450S, just get rid of.
yeah.
And get rid of 3901, 1A and 1B. That's the motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Nay, okay,
And
hang
one
on,
nay.
of course, okay, hang on. You guys are making me work.
Okay, informational items. Email from patron Mary Schmidt. Do we want to read that, or just you got that in your packet?
Yeah,
Can you
I
read
saw
that?
it. It was great.
Wait, does she want us to?
No, she's sitting right there, maybe she'd like it to be recognized. Her time.
Well
Thank
done.
you.
Well
Thank you
done.
for your input.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you for making the effort to put information out about
Yes.
the levy on the website, in the papers, and the videos. And that hasn't been done in the history, or at least over the last little bit. And it was something that other groups had to do. So thank the entire board and superintendent for taking that on.
thank
Yes,
you.
thank you so much.
We
Yes.
appreciated
Thanks.
positive input.
It was nice.
School board clerk contract, we are going to table until next time due to a potential violation of open meeting law. And we can enter public discussion.
Tracy, do you have time? Yeah.
I
What
can
a
type.
time.
They're gone.
Do we have any questions or comments or anything that you guys would like to share?
Mr. Chairman,
I'm bringing cookies next time, I swear.
Yeah.
on a positive note, I think it was brought up earlier regarding this matter of our being accused of not complying with Idaho law with HB 352. Our passage of the amended 2320, which you and the superintendent and I worked out a little while ago, puts us in compliance with that law, so that's no longer an issue.
3320.
Yeah, thanks for that announcement. That's good.
So, and behind it.
Yeah.
There.
Any comments? We're good? Yeah.
Just get something, and I'm sure you're all aware of it, but you've all been meeting for at least 3.5 hours now.
Yeah.
And I know that you're deconsolidating, you're trying to do everything, and there's all these policies, but I think you've lost about 75% of the year. And
Yep.
I just don't
Including the
know,
superintendent.
I don't know where I'm at. Is there anything you can do to shorten, change it, make it easier on yourselves? I'm just saying, this is a lot for you and Jeremy.
This is a lot.
We agree.
I don't know.
No question.
All right. All right. Thank you, everybody. Oh, I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
that.
second?
I'll
Great.
second
All in
that.
favor?
Aye.
All right.